and I got a second generation
I was hoping that Super got
graphics card that have been
one called
refurbished.
Mr. 1 and 6.
Oh, nice.
He is currently Mr.
But
0 and 6.
it would have been great 10 years ago. It would have been top of the line. But
the
now
guy I
it's
contacted that he told he
What
told
they
me
say
that
about assists.
he's
They're
selling
kills
it because he's upgrading his PC. So maybe I don't know. I'll check it out first of all.
He's currently he's
he
snake
did
bitten now. He's
90.
snake bitten.
Maybe he.
That's probably not gonna be too bad.
Raiden, are
Fool
you
got back.
using an
Got
NVIDIA?
all the downs and his team just.
I was just gonna look it up. Hold on. So let me go
Hey, you guys possible?
to
I feel like
system.
he would appreciate it if I wasn't saying
Del,
snake
Del,
bitten. But regardless,
Yo.
we're hoping at
do you
some
know
point
that
he's
you
gonna
can
be
get
able to
a
pick it up.
graphics
The
card
rest
for
of his
free
team
from
is
NVIDIA?
going to need him to because
Oh yeah.
likely
What do you mean?
you have somebody at the moment who has
Like
not been
tell
able to
them that
contribute
you're
much on the scoreboard.
this
Of course, we
Twitch
say
streamer
time
and
and
you
time
have like
again that
600
just
followers and
because-
you would like to
have to
review
wake
the
up, that's
graphics
all.
card on
and it's
Twitch.
not even that. It's
Think
like you
so?
said. Sometimes
I
you
should have
don't
done that
need
before I
Yeah.
bought my
Sometimes
1080 then.
being able to get a diffuse off. Sometimes being
Like
able to just use your utility
I read it on
Money for your team.
I don't know. I read it
being
somewhere.
able to, just survive
I've
and
heard
be
about
there
people getting
can
free
be
stuff.
incredibly
I
helpful.
know,
Now,
you know,
it's
Skies
good
from
help if he
Elevate.
had kills as well, but
Yeah.
sometimes it
He's
doesn't
doing a
work
giveaway
out.
right now. He's
Regardless,
giving
we're still at
away
match point. Reckless
one of their
right now.
mouses and Razer
Four,
mouse
two.
and headset.
It looked like Gurmy and
That's what I'm
Powerful
saying.
were
Like,
going to be
ask
a
them like we would like to
tussle,
do a
but they don't
review.
end up seeing each other.
And
Gurmy's
they'll
been playing a
send it
lot
to
at
me.
a reading room as Valkyrie.
Okay, I'm in
Nice
my
place for her
Windows
to
10,
be.
which I
She's got
hate.
full roam of that
Yeah,
second
Windows
floor.
10
Cams
sucks.
potentially working on the third floor, and you have that
Hey,
sixth floor from
Risaskis,
below,
how
of
are
course.
you?
Scoring some money.
Unbreakable.
Devices.
Yeah, and Foxy is
You
gonna
have
be
better
all the
things
way
to do,
inside
Mitch.
Cigars, prepping a nade for
I
the
mean-
mirror window or
I'm gonna ask you
pixel
guys
spot,
questions,
and
I don't know.
it's not gonna hit anything.
See
but
that?
at
That was
least
a Velt
we
cam that
know
they
that
just
Pixel
showed.
is clear as IQ. I think he's gonna throw another one. No, that's smart. Not gonna.
Yeah,
opt for
I also
another
saw the
one.
cam.
They're aware
Yeah.
of the mirror window.
Like,
This
they
is
don't
a
show
common
directly
cam,
where
like-
he places
Question
them,
is
but by
how,
watching
if
the
they
whole
open up
round,
the
you
wall
usually see where he put them. Like, at
piano,
least the view.
they are
But
at
that's
least gonna
a
get little
that's
bit
a really
more
common
control, but they
cam.
can't
Like
do
Yeah.
every
use it because
Well, you
everybody
see
knows
the
this.
IQ's going for it
there's
already.
a man playing on right this
Yeah.
second. If they can deal with that,
Where's
it
Gangsta?
will open up half of the
He's
top
in here.
floor for them to work with. But it's
Alexis, you're not able to hear me?
deal with that mirror window unless you've got a good combination
think
of
so.
Thatcher and
Okay,
Hibana
device
or maybe
manager.
a
That's where it
Twitch.
should tell me,
But with
right?
the Bandit playing on it, he's just gonna trigger
What
it, more
happened?
likely to have
Are
for
you-
Hibana.
Doesn't it tell you what
Reaching
you're
the point where
using,
he's
like
gonna
when you
have
try to
start pushing. The
reset?
Goddess just comes right
do an
in and
update?
starts to go for a plant, but Gurmy from below, and that's
I don't
the
think so.
power of
Braden
that
has
Valkyrie.
this
Had the
NVIDIA
cam, had
graphics
the
card.
intel, and then
He
was
has
able
NVIDIA,
to
right?
with an easy
in the other
nitro
one.
cell
He has
that
a-
is lobbed
he
right
has
out.
the
That would
AMD
stop the
one.
diffuser in its tracks.
Oh,
It
he
didn't
has
even
AMD,
reveal the
so he
position
doesn't
of
use
the
NVIDIA.
yokai either. So
Yeah.
that
I
makes
have
it
an I have a
valuable.
NVIDIA
Gurmy is trying to find the
graphics card.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
waiting.
Then you do have
Gurmy
NVIDIA.
comes up,
Is it
manages to
GeForce
down the
or
IQ.
is it,
Foxe a
NVIDIA?
double kill.
I'm trying to find where it gives me the best readout on Windows 10.
But I think that 770 is all that AMD graphics card.
Oh,
Computer
770 is
man.
the Intel processor. i7 with 77 speed, 7700.
Damn, that Fox guy just killed two.
Yeah. He's nasty. And he plays Sledge
Oh,
and Pulse.
Your guy Powerful also killed one from the stairs. The guy was coming up from the...
Oh, man.
So
no.
I have my processor is an AMD FX 4350 quad core, so nothing huge. 4.2 gigahertz. It's just actually
You don't have an
kind
Intel processor?
no.
And the plant going down.
You can get more for AMD back in the day.
Really? I don't know. I didn't know that.
And he'll be able to get it quite easily.
But
Era,
the
a really
the
nice
high
one.
end, I think Intel is
Gotta
winning right
say,
now.
Foxe tried his
Yeah,
best
I think it's at
with
least
that
more
double kill
common.
versus
I don't
powerful
know
added to it, but
content
just too much.
or
And
quality
Era
if
looking
it
like
is. I
a
don't know.
better team
never
than we
used
saw the first
AMD.
4 rounds.
Now I gotta find my graphics card display.
There was, I think, honestly, that round came down to Reckless
Nope,
not
that's
trying
not
to
it.
counter anything at
Home.
all. They just tried to avoid
So the
all of
build
the
of
setup
playing
from
with
Era,
now,
and it.
like, it can
I mean, that's not
support
going to work for you,
two,
especially when the way you're trying to
1080
avoid it is by
cards.
pushing into where there's a yokai
Just
drone
tell me to
sitting,
buy
as well as the
MSIs
ability for
that
the
never
man
heard
on
of.
that bandit from the mirror window of bathroom. He
Did-
can come into
Do you have
pixel spot at
NVIDIA
any time
driver on your
and
computer?
use the hole that was put into the piano wall.
Chris?
On my laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a
Did you do the
NVIDIA
update
GeForce
today?
A
GTX.
little bit more forward with that
Is-
diffuser,
no.
not as the
New
first time
driver
around.
came out
Dropped
today.
it maybe next to the
Oh,
bar.
okay.
Something
For-
different could have happened,
more
but
or
it's
less like
still
that.
unlikely. They needed to
Well,
either
I don't know. It
deal
usually
with
happens
the
every
mirror
couple
window
weeks, but
or
Yeah,
deal with
yeah,
the
I'm gonna go
drones.
check.
everything
Like
I
it's
was reading
downloadable.
on Twitter, though,
Either because
was
of that,
not
through
positive
the
about
plans
this new
of
update,
their
but
attack. Now,
There's never a
Era,
positive in
despite
new
still
update.
having,
but usually if it's not overwhelmingly
pretty
negative,
askew
then you
scoreboard,
take that as a
they are
positive.
going to be starting to crawl back their way into
But in this case,
Display
the negative
adapter.
is
Driver
allowed.
away away from overtime.
So I have a
Very
NVIDIA
possibly,
GeForce
but Reckless
GTX
gets to defend
770.
top floor. So this is going to be their best
So you're on
opportunity
Oh, that's
Nvidia
nice
too. That
graphics
means
card.
your update should also be
avoid
there.
that overtime. Their only opportunity.
can go.
I like the way that Reckless
I mean, you don't
pressed
have to
that
do
corner,
it.
picks
I
a
just
spot
know it came
for
out today.
Goddess to play inside of it comfortably.
All right, guys.
About
About to win some money.
So, or I mean, maybe it's the
What are you-
bench. Either way,
What are you doing?
a lot more.
I'm playing the
room to
HQ thing.
maneuver
It's
and,
8 o'clock.
Can get nice and safe and snug. And
About
last
to
time
answer
Goddess
12
played
questions
there,
and try to
Oh,
receive
that's
those
that
goals.
game show thing
most
you're
of the
talking
round,
about?
So
Yeah. Want to
hopefully
start?
maybe see that again.
Poppy, you see that? They're running an Ash.
Just not quite in the spot
Yeah.
Gurmy.
just yet. And waiting.
The guy is
Takes
like really
about
good with
30, 40
Ash.
seconds to be able to
He
really
could-
get
Yeah,
the-
Gurmy is
clears out
nasty.
rumors
So is this all on Twitch right now?
Yeah.
Yep. On the like the main channel.
Rainbow Six channel.
This is obviously make or break for both
I really
teams.
want to see those
I have
Ents guys
suspect
play.
that if Era takes
They
this
already
round,
qualified
it'll
too,
probably
right?
prevail.
Ents and Penta both qualified for Europe.
So Reckless is going to need that extra
Mm.
breathing room.
Like,
When is
Never
the
wanna- never wanna
finals?
give up.
Where they all will
Push that
compete?
momentum that you have, and they
I want to say
won
like last
4
weekend in
rounds a
January.
row to go up 4-1, but
Okay.
Era
Because there's
has been
3
able to
teams from
hold
Europe,
themselves back
3
up,
teams
and we could be staring
from
down OT.
I mean, they've only got
LATAM,
2
3
rounds in a
teams
row
from
You know,
North
this time
America.
there is
side
like
of
2
things,
teams
that's
from
what you would
Asia.
expect to
And
see
2,
from
yeah, there's
Era.
16
It's-
teams
we
that
did see
qualify
one
for
round where
LAN.
they really woke
And I
up
know
on they
that
were hunting down those
9 of
roamers.
those teams
But
come
since
from
then, it's been a
LATAM,
little bit more of the
European,
same.
and
There's
North
still more
America.
roamer hunting, but this time Gurmy just gonna get it onto Foxay with no assistance from his teammates.
There are
The
teams
drones
coming from Japan
elsewhere, so
and
that's just good
Japan
reactions
and
from
then
Gurmy,
the
all by his
Singapore.
Yeah,
lonesome. Now
the
he's challenging
Impact
on
teams are gonna
DCZ,
get
the
smacked
Valkyrie
though.
inside
They
of dining table, and he's gonna get that kill.
they won't win.
Gurmy, an excellent roam hunt in this
So
round.
Rainbow
Very
Six
well
Siege.
done.
Yo,
And,
did you
two
see
of
this
the,
Ash kill
better
too?
players
Yeah,
from the top
that's the
riders
power
for
of Ash, man. I'm telling you, if
Yeah.
you want to
So
bring
he's
fragging
Foxay
power,
playing
you
on
have to
LMC,
bring
definitely,
Ash.
a player to be reckoned with.
That guy just
Heavily
like
drawn out
he
Goddess
goes
in the
clear
side of the
like
corner
he's
of
really
Scarlet
good with
picks the
clearing
spot
out roamers.
and find out
And
where
he's
the
using
mirror
an
is, as
ACOG,
well
like,
as the rest of the team.
Usually
Yeah.
that close to distance, I would feel so much more comfortable using Olo
They're trying
Olo?
desperately to flush her out.
Yeah.
It will burn the
But
ADS
he's doing
very
it
smartly.
with an
Takes some
ACOG, and
damage
if
from
you're able to
Valkyrie
do the
before
close
being
range
able to
combat
move
with an
out of the
ACOG,
way.
then you have an
Bosco
advantage.
just shreds Breezy.
You know, like
Era,
most of
a
these
reign
guys, they're
of
playing on
terror
like
at the moment.
that 4:3
Goddess went for a
aspect
pre-fire
ratio
through the
or
wall
like
into Bosco,
3:2.
couldn't connect. Bosco
Yeah,
takes down
a
Power
lot of
Blast.
them
So-
use
Goddess in a
different
1v5
ratios.
Is it easy to use an ACOG when you have an A?
situation. She eliminates
I don't
Gurmy,
use
and then
ACOG.
if Fuse plant going down in
Personally,
40
I
seconds,
like the
but
Hollow,
Super is there,
but-
and if I remember
I
Do
think
you
you
think
missed
this
my
guy will?
question.
Him
Oh,
most.
nice.
I believe he gets his first kill.
Yo,
I
that's
asked
cool.
if he was using an aimbot.
Oh, aimbot? Oh, I thought you said ACOG.
Odd.
I said, so maybe he's good with an ACOG because he uses an aimbot.
Good
Oh,
job
dude, he'd
there,
for
and
sure
it
get
is
caught.
Very important that he managed to get that. Now, Goddess is definitely a player.
Did
who
you know
Maybe.
that
Good job
French
there.
team
But,
beat
overtime,
beat
we're gonna have
Genius
Reckless
guys?
starting on
Yeah,
defense.
I saw that, and
They're
everybody
gonna
was
see the
typing
advantage,
fours
I
in
think,
the
this situation,
in the
starting on
chat.
defense, but in the later end, they were half, I guess, of
Those
the
That was
Chinese
map.
funny.
boys.
It's actually been a bit of a shift. Obviously, we just saw 2 unsuccessful
Super
I'm in
messages
Discord.
on there. I'm
Oh.
on the board.
on
He
that
got his
top floor.
first kill.
I thought he said
Possible here, this could
I'm in the
actually
Chris,
Discord.
are you
Yeah.
already done?
I'm
8
not
rounds
sure.
into the game, he
I'm
picked up his
What's your
first
game?
kill.
that
Oh, no,
Reckless
no,
is making some
it's
adjustments
still
based on those last
loading.
2 rounds on that
There's
top
half a
floor.
million
Man,
people
this
in
is
the room.
like
See what
they
the
Well,
just
it's not loading, it's
Era made a
pre-
comeback.
The
Now,
video
I
hasn't
think the
started
main
yet.
problem
Ella?
is the
Oh,
fact that
yeah,
their
Era.
roamers
Yeah, they
are
did.
just
The
making
Era,
shoot
yeah.
up.
That's because
They
Gurmy,
did.
look at him.
Tornado
Back
Yeah,
again.
our driver's still
coming
installing
downstairs
too.
with the aid of his
That's all.
Dude, this
teammates on those
Bosco
drones.
guy, he like
Hunting
every
them down
single
without
game he
losing
played, he had like
any-
10,
well,
11
losing about
kills.
half of
Last
his HP
night?
every time, but that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
last night
again
he
this
was
guy is
going
on
in.
11 kills. Like,
No, Fox
again, this guy is on like 9 kills.
And 9 and 6 too, so he's pretty positive.
Streak of luck if
Yeah.
you're him.
I'm surprised that they're not
Gurmy didn't
bringing in
even look
Ella.
like he was being droned out.
They
It was
like
just
all of
he
them.
got
They use all like
the
same
Valkyrie was
strategy.
droned out
Yeah.
from,
The same
Fi-
meetup window, the
train,
same strategy every
but,
single
the
time.
drone
Yep.
got destroyed.
And
The
pretty
call
much
came
they make
out,
the same
Valkyrie
pushes.
decided
It's
dining.
just like who
The
wins their
Ella,
gun
on
battle
the
that
other hand,
round.
yeah, the Ella, he had no idea about the
It's
Ella.
just circumstances.
It's just more.
I don't
really
know why
like
they like
to,
release
because,
so many
it's
new
Ella.
operators
Coming
when
up
they
from
don't
the,
even use the
stairs
new
that
ones.
close, you'd
And
expect
it's
her to win the
last
fight,
night the teams were
but
really
unfortunately, I think
using.
it, can't recall. I think I want to say it
Sophia
was Foxy
and
who was playing Ella in that
even
situation,
Vigil got
unfortunately,
some
just didn't get
use.
the shot.
I think maybe it's dependent on the map.
They should use the Vigil shotgun. What do you think?
Attacking the same floor they've attacked now, this
All
is
the pro
third time
teams
in a
were
row, I
using
believe.
his K1A or whatever.
They're going to be on the roof.
I just like having more flexibility. The shotgun, you have to get so close. With K1A,
same
you
exact tactic
you know,
come
you
from
can
here,
shoot from
come from them
distance.
that they've done so far every single time because it's.
But I have seen
tactics
videos in
work
which
for 'em, but
like people
on
are
the
like spawn
defense
killing
side
with
of
that
things,
shotgun.
Yeah.
some minor adjustments. I believe
I've seen,
I wanna
yeah,
say
I guess
that
I've
is
just
Foxy
seen
now,
some
since he's
crazy
playing Alex,
kills
he's playing
too.
Bandit,
And
and
it's
he's all the way
like,
inside a piano
that's
by
a
the piano
shotgun?
bar. Bandit tricking
Jeez.
on that red stairs wall. Which means if he can stall that out,
Nobody's
that might
roaming
be
bottom
it's
floor this
damn-
time because they're scared of the Gurmy Wormy.
That It's needed
Yeah.
for Reckless to get these rounds. Not having an Ela though, that's an interesting choice. We
Yeah,
don't see
see,
that happen very
Kickstart
My
just said the same
man.
thing, not having
kinda
Ela.
surprised we don't see like instead of a
Check his
Doc, an
name, my
Ela or
man.
something
Dude,
along
he is
those
so
lines,
sick.
because, I mean, yeah, sure the ACOG's
I
good
think
for
he's one of the
challenging
best
for
players
cocktail,
in North
but
America,
still,
and he's
I
got
mean,
like the
Ela.
sickest name too.
They'll try to
I
work
just
the way
wish
down.
like
It's a
Kickstarts
bandit trick
to like
immediately
start
done. Can he
playing
bandit trick
this
as well as
Pro League
Talon
thing
I
can?
did
again.
too.
Yes, he does. He
It'd
managed
be-
to get
You know,
Like, this
everybody
guy-
and their mother would cheer for him.
Frustrate Era, no doubt.
Yeah.
Super only has
And like
one
this guy, he
round
used to carry the
left
team in
that
Pro
could
League.
potentially be
Kickstar?
used if needed to clear an
Yeah,
ABS.
11 kills.
But got us off the board,
I
so
like
they
watching
managed to
his
burn an
streams
ABS.
because
They're
he
all
always is
gone.
just
Short
going
set
in on
down
people.
another. That was a nice kill from a man as he
I'm
charged
just thinking
right
about
in.
that Bolo guy.
And now Foxe under heavy pressure.
Who?
Smoke will go down. and
The
push the
Bulo
man
Bulo.
back out. Foxe has been
You don't know
trying
that
to
guy?
see through the window.
I'm not sure who you're
He'll
talking
jump
about.
down. He'll try to go for
Oh,
Bosco and
Biolo.
manages to miss
Biolo.
most of his shots. Didn't really know
What
where
team
he
is he
was.
on?
Oh,
That's
what
an
the
easy kill for the
fuck?
Black
That
Bull. Clean up the Ultra
potato
Soul.
from
He's
Bandit.
Zizi now from above.
That knife?
Shooting through the floor just next to Cocktail.
That
Able
was
to get
sick.
himself back up as he has one stick pistol
Oh
shot
my
left.
god.
It's also a big
Finally
misplay
just
for
found
Fox,
there was
eh?
a drone inside of
Yeah.
back as well.
Like,
Zizi
what the
unable to
hell?
land all of
He
the
doesn't
shots
know he
onto the
downed
man,
that guy either.
but Breezy Smoke will do that.
See,
trick
if,
instead. Now Powerful flushed out
if
as his mirror gets
Reckless
eliminated the
loses
last
this
round of the
game,
X-Kairos.
they're
Did
really
a
in trouble
great
for the
job,
rest of the
and
series,
Super tries to
considering
storm through
they
that
were up
glass.
5-1
Breezy
or
gets
whatever,
kill
4-1.
number 2, both of which with his top
Yeah,
two waves.
true.
Final 30 seconds, diffuser is down.
Like
Smoke
literally these guys
persists.
are like
Powerful
5
gets
to
one
2.
onto
They should
Gurley.
win this
That's
round though,
3v2.
with the diffuser down right
It's just
there.
Bosco
They should
and
win.
K9 left. Two of
Yeah,
the
they'll
most
win this one.
seasoned members of this team.
Unless
But they
like,
still have this
People who
Bosco
have
guy.
played on the largest
yeah,
stage
Bosco, he's really good. But he's
Yeah,
playing the skill
he's
beard,
good.
man.
just inside a bar.
I
And
could
he's in
step
the
into
top.
Pro League and get some kills with
Game
skill
to
beard.
start.
Comes in, gets K9. Bosco eliminates Breezy, and that's a 1-for-1.
Did you win, Chris?
Breezy just need to stand
No,
by.
it's still
He's miles
loading.
away from
There's
that diffuser. Not a
530,000
chance
people
at
in here.
all. Reckless goes back to match point.
What,
just
Chris, are
feel-
you trying to win
First round of
something?
overtime.
There's this live trivia app
What's your
called HQ Live Trivia, and twice a day you can try and win money for no charge.
Nearly as much, and
Oh,
because of
prize
that,
is
they're
$2,000.
hunt down
Commercial.
rovers, get 'em
I saw
moving,
what- there's no commercial.
and thus when they made for
It's
the
just
push
sitting in
to the
this
site,
well,
they
they're advertising HQ
forth,
extra lives, invite a
and
friend, extra
unfortunately
lives.
led to dust. Also,
You
there are
just
couple
did a
mistakes
commercial
made by
on
Era.
Delstream.
For example,
Oh,
walking
yeah.
into gas
Oh,
stations.
yeah.
Give me that money.
That is
Twice.
Yeah,
never-
right.
Well, this
I
is
watched,
one.
That would mean I'd have to
19
have
people-
people watching.
He got downed by
I watched
the
19
dock.
people win the other night, and
Sledged
each
down
one of
by
them
the
won
dock.
Was
$105.
sledged down by the dock.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Dude, you got
the
3.
first one was a down player, but still, you know, walking into the smoke. What happened there with the Habana, by the way? If you're
My
wondering,
driver
is
won't finish.
to
Come
that
on.
Nirvana
I feel
credit,
like that most of the
he got
giveaways
stuck
on
in a slow
YouTube
vault
are
in the
like,
middle of the smoke.
they're
He was trying to
fixed.
vault from the little
Yeah, I always
cabinet
wondered.
inside a cigar room.
They do that on
and,
Twitter.
Yeah, sometimes you get stuck in a slow,
Yeah.
slow vault. It's unfortunate, but that is actually what killed
So
him.
how do they
You
control
must
the
be angry
camera
about
on
that.
this
It does
to
happen.
flip
Now,
back and
Era
forth
going to be
between
defending
people?
the top
There's
floor
an
on
observer
this
in the
stage. This is
game.
Their first defense in overtime.
And the
No surprise
observer
in the lineup
controls
for
the
either
screen,
team.
and then
We do
two
have a
guys are
glass, So
commentating.
that actually is really interesting. I think the glass is going to play really well.
They'll see
for
again that
Reckless,
Bosco guy is on
considering
11
the way
kills.
that they have
But the
been addressing
observer's
the attack,
invisible.
lately. They don't
Yeah,
No.
the observer's not really
They
in the
don't
game.
deal
He
with the
just
mirror
has
window
control
inside the
over
bathroom.
like
They
cams
don't
and stuff.
do
He's able to
anything,
switch
to
perspectives.
try
He's
and
also able to
deal
go
with,
to that like
how Era's
third
holding.
person thing
So
where he kind of
instead,
just
what
like
Reckless
flies
needs to
around
do
an
is
invisible thing.
bring their own
There's
sort of,
nothing like the players don't have
structure, bring
any
their own sort
knowledge
of
of if the
attack
observer's
strategy
on
and that
them,
yeah, they're gonna smoke
where
this
they're
time.
looking or
And
anything. There's
hopefully
not
that will
there.
work for them.
They
Of
should
course,
like,
we're still gonna have to
they
expect
should
to see
also
more
show
from
the
below,
settings the players are
but,
playing on.
it's
Like,
possible
do you
if you're playing
follow-
a 3 to
matter
2.
if
Oh,
you get enough
you
frags
gotta follow
man
this
advantage
guy on
early in the
Twitter.
round.
He
Very interesting.
tweets
What
out.
the-
He does all the stats, and then he
Yeah, I
also
mean,
tells
they've
like
only
which
got
attachments the
two
players
No,
were using on their gun.
They've got to be
uh,
very well positioned.
I used
They
to
have
follow the
obviously
Pro
clear
League
out
settings,
the,
but
they have
like
to clear out the
I came
ADSs,
to
or
know
actually
that
there are no
they are
ADSs.
like
Era doesn't
fake.
have a Jaeger, so they don't.
Go
Somebody clip
follow
it
this
out.
guy on Twitter.
Good job. Well
Uh,
done, Reckless. Well done.
Ranger
But, they would
GG.
have, but in this instance, they don't.
He does all the
So, they
stats.
just
Like
have to
he'll
make sure
run the
those
stats
smokes
and
go
say
in the
which
right spot.
operators
And
were
actually,
picked the
interestingly, we've
most,
seen a couple
which
players so far in
attachments
this
they
match
used on which gun.
get I think kind of messed up by the new physics of
They're playing
throwables.
aggressively this time.
C4, smoke,
What the hell are they both
canisters,
doing, crawling through cigar
grenades
like
and
that?
such. It's kinda, they missed a couple like
Yeah.
that.
What was
thing
that?
We saw earlier
Human
inside of
centipede,
Vienna.
I think.
ZZ's
Well,
gonna
what
get
the
first hit out
hell?
of Gurmy. That's the very first kill of this round, and now Reckless.
That's my favorite player is
1
that
inch away, it seems, from
Ash. It's the
getting
one
the
that
first map
Fox is
win.
playing, Braden.
It's
That's-
Gurmy being
he's
flushed out of
awesome.
reading as well, which is very important. That's where he was able to cause so much havoc before.
There was a
Mamans
700,000.
cover
I think
inside
they're
of
just
the
trying to
back
stack
room.
the pool.
Also,
These bastards.
they have to bid adieu to that as it gets opened up. Now, one thing that Era has
Well,
done
actually,
very
they have
well
already selected the
is
winners.
give them half of the top floor to
Both
deal with,
sides are
but then
using
managed to
Rigged.
make
with
it
ACOG.
very difficult for them to take
Yeah, it's
the
rigged.
second half. That's a lot
Man,
easier
this update
against
for
the
the
cover
driver
of
is
smoke.
gotta be big.
Breezy, who was a great
It is
shot
going
before, getting a shot
so
at from
like it's
K9,
a quarter way
and
done.
shot at yet
It
again
didn't
this
take
time
me
from a
too-
man who has now gone back into the washroom.
Damn,
By
this
that man, which is
IQ panic.
the final
My
battle
man is
Maybe
just
I'm-
battling
Maybe
though.
I'm being throttled.
Breezy is
He's
well
fighting
aware
these
that
two
he's
guys at
drunk.
the
They'll
exact
try
same
to flash
time.
him out.
No
My man
issues.
gets completely blinded.
Now
IQ
there's
is
an
panicking.
issue.
Breezy to just clean up on. He'll come out, gets hit
Bye-bye,
by the
my
Elamine,
man.
and is severely concussed.
Goodbye,
Beats
my
K9,
man.
and it's
Oh
off
my
to Super
God.
and Bosco, as this one looks like it's going to go.
Dude, they brought a
full
glass,
reckless
and I've
unless
noticed that
something major can come around, and this is
they've
the
been
place they
doing.
need
There's
Bosco
been a lot
to
of
come back
glass
on the side.
plays.
Super will now need to clutch,
Oh,
but
the
Breezy's there in
wow.
reckless. Takes
That's how you
game
respond and
number
go
one on
clutch.
Cafe Dostoevsky.
Your favorite guy is using
A pretty-
glass.
A pretty
Powerful?
great start. They
Yeah.
lost their
Yeah.
momentum, but they found it when they needed
Dude,
it.
I've-
Oh,
I gained a lot
Starting
of
in 2
respect
minutes. Fuck
earlier
you.
for
They take it
the
6
player on
to 4.
Era. His name is
Goddess top
Cooper,
flag.
the guy that who said I just got on the board or whatever.
Least amount of kills on the team.
Yeah.
Because they did a pregame interview with him, and he was talking about how all these pro players talk about these people that are called ranked stars because all they do is play ranked.
So that's very
And
impressive.
pro
No.
players talk trash about him. He's like, but a couple months ago, everybody considered me a ranked star, so if you want to go compete, ranked players are good, they can do it.
The mirror window, and they didn't need to worry about the roamers.
But it was
and
just cool
that
because
allowed
most
them
of the
to
pros,
freely
they like
push in
shame players that
and,
just play
get
ranked
that
and don't
plant
compete.
after
But
they
he
had
was kind of
already
like standing
dealt
up
with
for him.
all of those problems.
Like,
Foxy managed to
you
get
should watch
one
that guy
kill, and
named
there's a
Biolo.
1-for-1 as Bosco finished it up. I don't know if we're gonna
I don't
see
know
the Foxy
which
That
team
guy?
is he on. I don't
Bakery. I hope
recognize
so.
that.
was
He's
a
not on
very
any team. He's like not able to play
impressive,
Pro League because
very
of his
impressive
age.
show. Now,
He's like 17
take a
years
look. It was a
old.
similar
Like
strategy
Kanekete
to
was?
Pocket grenade, of course, will be a
Yeah, but
highlight.
yes,
Kanto
but
couldn't
that
play in
guy,
Pro
like,
League,
he
right?
has,
Because of
like,
his age for a while.
Do you know this this Continuum?
Yeah.
The B genius guys now, evil geniuses. Dude, like that guy rushed in with recruit, shotgun, and he killed those guys in ranked match.
Really?
You should watch
This
his
is-
aim.
this to me
Yeah,
is-
you should
I
watch
know
his
it's pretty
aim.
routine,
He
but
was like
nonetheless,
accused of
I
hacking.
think it really
I'll
helped
check
us
him
Far,
on
far
late
better
week,
than.
and for good.
Like
This one was good too from
he's just like Kickstar.
managed to get one-
Maybe like
get a pretty nice
like
kill, and that SMG-11
better
did
than
its
him.
job
10,
effectively.
9,
I'll check
8.
him out.
Breezy just coming in as Ella. I like the way as well that
Yulo.
Reckless was swapping roles out. Eris is
Violo,
very static on your roles, which is
B-E-A-U-L-O.
okay because it does work. You have to trust the
Alright.
process.
Is he European or is he
for
NA or what is?
NA.
Reckless,
He's
they
NA.
had different
NA?
players playing
Wow.
different roles.
Just
ZZ,
watch one
Breezy,
of his
and
video.
Foxy
You'll
all
be like,
played
oh my
Ella
god,
at
bro, this
least
guy has
one
he's a
round.
fucking good aim.
Dude, you know who's really sick?
I mean,
You
spread the
watch
love, right?
Peng-
If
Pengu's
somebody's having a
streams?
bad round or a bad match, then
Yo, like,
put 'em on
that guy's
something
better
where
than
it's hard to have
Pengu.
a bad
Watch it.
bad
Really?
round or bad match, aka
Yeah.
Ella.
Pengu
Pengu
is
is like-
so
There's
good.
nothing wrong with that. That's just smart
That
play.
guy's
If
better
you
than
want
Pengu.
somebody to fulfill a
Like,
specific
aim-wise,
purpose, oh, yeah,
according
of
to
course
the
this is
aim.
gonna be a highlight. And this
Oh, look
Watch
what
like
they just
one
did
of his
to him.
most watched video.
They turned him into a meme.
At this moment,
messed up.
Fox.
one- and there's Bosco with the
They just
reaction,
memed him.
getting that knife kill. Very impressive. He definitely is known for his reaction time. Well done.
He had a solid
Yeah,
3 seconds
man.
of Foxy plummeting to his essentially his
Rainbow
death.
Six,
We all make
the
mistakes,
memes.
Foxy. It's okay. I
We
mean,
all
I think I've done
That
that
you
one
have
before.
that dual monitor
He falls
setup.
out
Check
a
that guy
window,
out,
he's just
the
too far
Builder.
down to look all
Yeah,
the way.
I'll check
I
him
think
out.
he
I have the
got- I
national
think
championship
what
football
originally
game on my
happened
other
was Bosco
monitor,
started
but
to
I'll
rappel
check
up
it.
and then came
That's
back
crashing.
down,
Right.
and Foxy heard him rappel up, and then when he
Probably.
broke
Is he
through
on
at that
YouTube?
point,
Is that where you're finding him?
too late. But
Yeah, he's on
nonetheless,
YouTube.
Consulate, a good,
Wait, I'll
a
send,
good performance
wait,
from
I'll
Reckless
post-
Yeah.
send you the
overall, and
link.
they're now only
Good
2
performance from
maps away from
Just
being
go to
able
YouTube
I
and
type in
type
his
Builder.
name,
as a competitor
and one of the first thing, well, the first thing says Bulo Pro League, then Bulo Montage, then Bulo is a
Wait, wait,
hacker.
A couple
Yeah.
things that
Which
Era
one is
did.
he?
Go to the-
Rounds where Era looked like
Go
they
to
knew
his
what
main
they were
channel
doing,
and
they
then
were able to
watch
drone
one of his
effectively
video.
and
Wait, I'll
push
send you
in.
the good one.
And
Watch
most
any of his
that
video.
always
Do you
involved
like know
pinching
his
a
name?
roamer early.
Like
And when I
aim.
say roamer early,
Has he
it's
got a
because
like a
you could
dude
get a
playing
roamer with
pool?
about a
Yeah,
minute
it's got
and
it.
a half off the clock
Ooh,
and
that
still
guy's
get
Or,
an
playing-
effective push. But they were getting
what do you
roamer
call
kills
that?
in the
Which
first
video are
30,
you going
40
to watch.
And that is very early, and that speaks also to the
I don't know.
inefficiency of your roamers to do their
The
job.
spawn peeking 1v5,
Yeah, in the rounds
should I do
where it
that?
decided not to do that,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
watch it,
rounds
watch it.
where
Spawn peeking
we
one
saw
v5.
Reckless just not have a roam game at all.
He's
are the
Ash.
rounds that Reckless on defense managed to
Yeah,
pull
Ru
away.
like he's
Ash
best Ash
ACOG.
player.
As well, Reckless on the other hand, the main
Why
takeaway
doesn't
for
he
me for
compete?
them is that every round that they actually
Because he's not
fought
old
Era,
enough.
they tried,
It's
took
like you
those
have to be
challenges,
18.
they managed
He's
to
under
win.
the
Now
age
we're gonna go to
requirement.
map number 2 of this best of
Yeah.
5. It's going to be Consulate.
It
And,
sucks
I
because
think this
North
is a map
America,
that's
we need
similar to the
talent,
map that
man.
will
All
play
the
for both of these teams. I don't think
See
there's
the
gonna
spawn
be any
picking
disparity between
1v5,
the skill
dude.
gap.
Like,
all the
he's-
Europeans
see
have
his
Consulate is
aim.
one of
they
the
have
most
the best
well-balanced
players
maps in
right
the
now,
game,
so
right
we
up there
need
with
to.
maps like
Yo,
catch
see
up.
his aim. See his aim.
most played maps in the game. So
He has that
likely to be a
precise
heated one,
aim.
just like what we just saw.
He's
'Cause I think
like
we
his-
did a good job to
his mouse is
Reckless,
so
but also
jerky.
Era, they played fantastic too.
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
he
it did
just
go all the
jerks
way
from spot to
6-4
spot.
in the end.
Yeah, and it's,
Yeah.
I'd like
What?
to remind everybody that's just tuning
I
in.
just
that
like
the
his
third
aim.
best
kill was
Like,
of
insane.
5 in our
Yo,
matches
watch
are
his wall
Café,
banks,
which
like he
included
wall banks
Reckless won that
pro
6-4.
players.
Wall banging
Consulate
is cheating.
map
He's
number
cheating.
2. We will definitely play
What do you mean?
Oregon. and
How's he know they're
Chalet
there?
Order will be played if
No, he's not
needed as
cheating. Like,
maps for
he has
5.
that
We're going to hopefully
good
have,
game chair. I'm in the game.
Yeah, he's got that whole like he can see through walls thing that no one else
Yeah, I
can.
would also love to know
Yeah,
which
I'm
teams
watching
pick
his
which maps.
the spawn
Unfortunately,
picking
again,
1v5
some
video.
minor confusion in
That's-
the
Do you know the
background
guy he like
unfortunately
the guys he's
happens.
playing against? The like all of
but,
them are diamond.
Why
It
are
is
they
going to be a
challenging?
basement defense here
I don't
for
know, they
Reckless
just,
to start
like,
us off.
they
And
think
again,
he-
Consulate,
They
one
think
of
they're
the
gonna
easiest
win
maps
1-on-5, and
Easy.
most of the time they're probably
I'd
right.
say at least once per map,
Yeah.
or per every time.
Where do the Pilgrims land? Massachusetts, Delaware, or Pennsylvania?
That is astonishing, and he might
Yes.
Yo, he's gonna get sniped.
paying the price.
Ah, I missed the tag!
Aware of it,
All right. Out of the fourth
just
question.
watching those open windows,
No
CC
way, dude.
manages to
This guy is
light
known
up
for his
a
wall
man
banks.
and
He
takes
just
him
got a
He's
spawn
aim,
peek, dude.
Wow,
Pro League.
absolutely
Nice,
incredible.
Nice down there. That's at least going to be some HP off of
I
him.
would
Like
get
there's
right.
like really like little
Kill.
chances that you can win
Unfortunately,
one-on-one
he's not gonna
firefight
find
against
it.
this guy.
But time being wasted for Era. Now,
See that?
ZZ
My
shooting
Like,
man
have
just
you
got-
heard Panther talking about Biolo?
K9's trying to bait it out.
Okay,
but I think that's
fool.
the wrong call in this situation too.
Are we gonna do this?
Challenge
Yeah.
keeps on going on.
All right. So let's let
Thermite
these
is the
these
one that you
chatters
have to be
go,
careful
and we'll
about,
run
especially
down
considering
to
you're attacking the basement. If
Bravo.
K9 goes down,
I'm gonna clean up the
essentially
Discord. I'm
all
just
hope is lost for Era on
procrastinating.
their
I'll get
side,
it
because
fixed.
that'll mean that
It's not
Reckless
such a
doesn't
shit
worry
show.
about the garage, which is one of the
What do you
main
mean?
points of
There's
contention
just
for any
no
attack.
coordination logic
taking
behind
the IQ
anything
and
that
the
I
thermite out
put
of
together.
action for
I'm gonna
over a
fix that.
minute, which is
We aren't
substantial
complaining.
and is going to make
Yeah.
the job of
It's
getting
these
their
other-
strategy
it's these
to
other
figure
turns on the
out
right.
that much more
No, it's
difficult
mostly Chris.
for Era, and it looked like the Wizards actually jumped out front, and this is a pretty key. This is a key to success. I've
Damn,
spoken
dude.
with another team previously.
Delt,
that
you
was
should
facing
try
off
like
against Era,
400
and they
DPI.
said that what worked really well in
You have
scrims
that
against
big
Era
mouse
was
pad
simply
also.
Yeah, what do you
running
play
at
on your
it, going for
DPI?
spawn peaks. It
I play on 800.
don't typically
Now I
see
like
it
I'll
at this
change it to
level,
400.
but
I play on
against Era,
600.
it proved to be quite effective, and that's
Oh,
something that Reckless
try
couldn't pick
like
up on,
400.
because not
I
only
play
is
on
there, of
800
course,
on
the fact that
PUBG,
you
but
managed to
I
get
only
a
play
kill
on
right off the bat,
600
potentially
in
a down.
Siege.
There's
Just more
also a little bit
comfortable.
of that tilt factor. If you make a team angry, then that can make
Dude,
all
I
the
just want this
difference
guy to like
as
compete
well.
in
We'll
this
hear
pro
the
league
first
team.
exothermic
Yeah.
charge go off.
North
Plus
American
1 minute
needs
15
him.
seconds
We need
remains
more
on the clock.
talent on.
Every single member of Reckless
In
is
North
just
America.
waiting
All the
for
top
Era to
players
show up.
are
Cody
out
has
in
lost a significant
Europe.
portion of his life as well, just over half, as has Maman.
That Penta guy, he's so
First
like
kill's gonna
cocky,
go to
but
Maman,
like
who gets picked up, and he
I
gets his
understand
revenge
that
on ZZ.
he
And that's
can
a
be.
nice,
Ooh.
that's a nice, I guess, response. As he was
Fabian.
downed earlier on by the Ela, and he'll finish him off.
Who?
45 seconds
Fabian,
left in
Fabian,
round
Penta
number
Fabian.
one.
Oh yeah.
Despite the health
I've heard a
advantage,
whole lot of
numbers
bad shit
advantage
about
in
him, like he's a
favor of
douchebag.
Era. They have
Yeah.
opened one of the panels. They
is.
will go for a second. Goddess is going to try to bandit trick.
Like he's the
then
one
she'll
who's
get
kicking
quite
out all the
easily. She
players
takes
and
some
he's the one
significant
who's doing
damage,
nothing.
But is now denied that exothermic charge.
Like
and will
every
have
time they
for
lose
30
any
seconds.
tournament,
Only
they
one of
kick
the garage
like a
panels
guy out from the
left
team.
up.
Yeah, they kicked
Last
out
time they kicked
KS.
Jonas.
Push through. This makes it easier on the
Yeah,
defense
this time they
as
kicked out
can now
KS.
know with greater certainty
Did you see
where the
also
And
damage
then-
KS
is
is
going to come
got a
from.
chance to make Invitational? The team that he
Last 16
got picked
seconds
up by
now.
is
4 on 5. Era has
still in
the
it.
control, but they
The
aren't able to
Ents?
pressure the site very well.
What
As
team is
Foxy
he in
from
now?
above is
He's
gonna get
playing
the
with
kill,
like
but
some
being
random
traded
team,
back
like a
straight.
Challenger League
7
team.
seconds now. The attack needs to start the
Oh.
plant, and they are doing just that, but no one's covering the planter. Bosco actually actually clutches out the kill on the
Yo,
powerful.
watch this guy
and
doing the
defenders
quick
will win
peek.
the round though because of an unfortunate. I think that was a team kill.
What are you watching now, Del?
On my left
match?
screen, I have the
No, in fact,
Arrow
it was the
versus
Echo onto
Reckless
Pipe.
team.
So just a lack of aggression there from
They
the
started a
attack,
new, like, the
wasting
old
out
match
too
is going
much
on,
time
like,
in
or
trying to
they started
establish
a
that
new one?
middle floor
No, it's
control,
the second
and
match now.
because of
It's
that, it will
Oh,
be
on
Vegas
console.
taking away the win.
Now, if
Which
wanna
is your
know
favorite
Cafe,
map,
the
Bell?
we just played was Reckless's pick, so not too surprising that they've won that on console.
My favorite
This
to
is
play
Era's choice.
or my
So
favorite to
ideally, if you're Era, you want to
like
play
Your favorite to
better.
like play.
like
But
where
you
I
did
think
on
I'm the
Cafe,
best,
and
my
you
best
know, there's
map.
probably a reason as to
What's
why.
up,
But
Stitch?
it's all
How you
different
doing?
set of strategies
Sorry, I
that
had
comes in. This
my
is a best of
I had
5.
my
You need to
chat
play
minimized
5
while I
of
was
the
watching
9
it.
maps, so you only get 4 bands, 2 each.
Like
Um,
they
That
all
sometimes
have
means
the
playing
same
maps that
this
you're not very good at just 'cause you don't
operators
have the
in
ability to
defending
play
it.
one
Why
or
did
two.
they go this place first?
Right, you are.
Lobby.
A
oh
huge
wow,
trip up there in
yeah,
that
that's
last
really
round.
odd.
Yeah.
Normally
I
you
have to say, I mean,
do
it wasn't
your
just the
lobby
time
is
being
kind of like
wasted,
your
it was the
second
team build,
push.
of course, but overall it was
You know, second or
there
third
was a
even.
lack of coverage on the player
Maybe
planting
they'll
by
have that.
Black Car, and he was
some-
playing Black Car when they knew
My
they
My
had
favorite
built
map
with
to
the
play
player inside
though.
of Pipes, the defender in Pipes. You can't really do that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and K9 just played Y. He just vaulted.
I
up
like
onto the
playing
pipes, and there you
border.
go.
I think
it was
it's
not
really
K9, rather,
Oh, border.
straightforward and
the
simple
Echo displayed Y,
to
just
attack.
vaulted up on the
Like
pipes
I've got a
and
pretty
goes
good
over the
strategy
hill.
for how I
Appreciate it.
enter on offense and
Top four defense
I've got to
from Era
play on
instead of
defense,
bottom
so
floor.
I like playing
Again, a
border.
little bit of a change, but not too much. Actually,
Um,
that's middle floor. That's not top floor. They're opting to go middle for the first round. That's kind of an interesting.
I like
I mean,
sometimes
people-
I like
people generally
Coastline,
consider the
which
middle
I
floor
know
to be
most
the
people
least
don't
played of
like
all the
it.
sites, but it's still just as viable.
Skyscraper's not bad.
They'll be
I
getting
hate
an assault
Skyscraper.
here on,
Alright.
on Consulate as
Like
Goddess Jones
it is a
I-
good map, but like I don't think so. Like it's good for this pro league thing.
As to
It's-
what the
I don't know.
LFG
The
on
one thing I
powerful.
really like about
that is-
Skyscraper for Pro
Yeah.
League is that there's
There are
some.
powerful
One
guys
of them
playing
is
with that
the
machine
other one
gun.
is-
Oh, what the hell? Yeah,
So,
he's got the
I mean, it should
M249.
have 100 bullets instead of 30, right?
What the fuck?
I don't see why not.
He's like, all right, you want to use Ella and
I
have
would
your
imagine it's
51
most
bullets?
likely
I'll
used
double
as a
that.
means of destructibility.
Possibly.
You can use
The one thing I
this
like about
magazine
Skyscraper
and
on the Pro
all of
League though
those,
is that
I guess those
Skyscraper you
bullets
can
to
really do some
open
crazy
up
strats.
long
Like
angled walls
you can do
and
strats
Yeah.
that
walls
no
from
one
longer
else
angles and
couldn't even
Yes,
think
no
of.
one
long
else-
and
super-
angles.
Yeah.
All right.
They always like
super,
outplay the
super on yellow
Yeah.
posted up. With
I don't
his
know.
ADS
I don't
in a
really
similar
like this
spot,
map
makes him
personally.
immune from a push as
Yeah, I
well
also hate this
as
map to
any
be honest. This-
potential
What is it?
funny
Consulate,
business
right?
from the
Yeah,
skylight above.
I'm not very good at
And
it.
as
Like
is with most maps,
I
Every-
like border. I
almost
like
always have to take
the
floor
that
above. Bosco
uh,
up top, first smoke is
bar
gonna go off
map,
from
the one with the
and a
Arsenal
heavy
room.
bout of concussion.
What is it?
And
Clubhouse?
one
Yeah, the
Candela goes
clubhouse.
in. Bosco, though,
I like,
yeah,
not
Clubhouse.
wrong
I
at
really
the
like
moment.
Clubhouse too.
Looks like the Cantella may have missed as Super gets a headshot onto
I really
Fox.
like
Things are starting
attacking
to heat up
Clubhouse,
here,
like,
and for the first time, it
it's-
seems we're
Yeah.
having
Everybody
major action
everybody
like-
defends the same
for the
spot.
last 20 seconds on
I
this.
really like
So
defending the
good
base
for-
or
good
attacking the
pushes
basement.
coming out for Roulette, or
I
Reckless. They are
hate
gonna come
the
into
bathroom. Like I
Projector,
hate when people
but
do
Breezy
bathroom
has been
bedroom
down.
or
Powerful
gym
looking
and
for the kill onto the connector player.
bedroom
My man gets
defense
eliminated,
because
but still inside of Projector.
it's just a
Bosco
shit show.
manages to get a
There-
double
it's-
kill. Meanwhile,
Damn.
and Goddess
Yo, that
so
powerful
last
guy
shot
got a
is
kill
gonna
with
be
that
ZZ.
thing.
Wreck on
Did he get
Reckless,
one?
Machine gun.
and he is repelling over by the
What the hell? They just throwed the round.
last 50 seconds.
yeah, they all just died in like.
He's just
a
gonna
matter
try
of
for
10
repel in here. It's probably
the
not gonna
fuck?
be.
They shouldn't have like rushed in like that.
anything
Oh,
good for him,
man.
as
wow.
Bosco's hearing it and waits for the repel.
Wow.
Gets the kill into ZZ, locks out that round. Good job to
Chalet,
Bosco. Playing
I
very
think-
passive inside of
I like
Projector.
Chalet.
It didn't look like at any
but
moment Reckless
it's
actually
a-
knew that he
it's
was
a
in
map
there. He
that
just kind of
You really
crouched or
need your
prone next
teamwork
to
on
that
point
Projector table
because,
and got
like for
ignored.
example, I
They were
usually
trying
do
to flush him
bandit
out, that's
in
why
the
they threw
basement and I
Candelas,
try to
but
bandit
was-
juggle.
the man was in
But if I don't
connector
have
and was able to
teammates
get that
watching
kill as
certain
he
things,
pushed in. Now, if my man
it's
had
just
not been able to
stupid.
clean up,
Like
and
if you have a
Breezy, I
good
believe,
team
was
around
Chalets
you
are
on
really
Chalet,
good.
it's really nice.
had have been able to get that
Yeah.
frag, then
Chalets
obviously
are really
everything
like a
begins
huge
to
map.
fall apart.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we got to
Reckless
see a
played
Captain
Chalet
Chalet
last night and
kill.
they
It was
looked
cool,
really
yeah.
good
No,
on
he
it.
did.
It
He
was
did get that.
neat. So
He
Oh.
almost got a second one because he had enough bullets, but unfortunately,
I'm
I
trying to
guess
think
again, he just didn't
what other
know
Pro League
that
are
smoke
there.
was inside of Projector.
I feel
so
like that Rainbow,
didn't
like
notice
after
that
like
onto
some
him.
years, like this
could've,
game will
you
be
know,
like
There was
next
just,
to
I think,
CS:GO.
on
I
that
think
note,
you're
a
right.
little bit of a lackluster drone
I
game
do
from
too.
Reckless there in
Because
that
like
round.
many
They
players
maybe
are
got a
like
little bit ahead of
coming in
themselves
Rainbow
with their
now,
push.
and also do you
They
know
had
that
control over admin very
pro
quickly,
team?
and Princer,
What
and
was
that
it?
was all
Phase,
just,
Phase.
droning, but
They're
after
also
that,
like
they were starting to push into,
joining Rainbow.
Projector,
Are they?
assuming it was
Community.
free and easy point of
Yep.
control,
Which roster are
and
they
it
picking
certainly
up?
wasn't. Arrow really put their foot
The
down.
Phase clan. I don't know.
Who would have
They'll
thought?
probably
I mean,
like
it's
buy out
the
either
first
Penta
foreign
or
console at
Ents
Gamescom,
just
I
because
think,
they
were
have more money.
less defensible to more and more defendable rather now. So we're in a position where we've seen teams do a pretty good job of defending it. So a couple Valk cams getting tossed out by Foxay at the end of the round here. And I think another thing too with Valkyrie is a lot of people imagined that she would be played next to none.
What?
If Dokaibi was used
a
lot. And
Valkyrie
we really
still
haven't
brings
seen
a
much of
whole
Dope,
lot
truth
to
be
the
told.
table.
And because of that, Valk is still being played just as much
I think
as
it's
she was
stupid
before.
for people to
Valk
say
is,
that
I
the
think,
Kebi
as
was going to
essential
ruin
on
Valkyrie.
Consulate as
Like,
IQ is, because they complete each
Valkyrie
other
still
really on
brings
this map, and
a lot
that's
of
why you're going
power
to see a
to
lot of IQ from both of these teams, because all those outside cams
You play a
give you so
really
much
good
information
Valkyrie.
on Consulate. It's one of the few maps that you can throw cams outside and easily and effectively gather tons of information on the attack.
I stole your cams on this map,
to the
actually.
point at which you can use 2 cams and get full 360-degree
Oh,
view on every
wait.
corner of the map outside.
On Consulate, I always use
and they
you,
can also stay hidden because
I
there's
always
plenty of
use
good spots to
your
put them.
cams on this.
Whereas on a map like Cafe, there's maybe not
I
as
really
many
like
great
Valkyrie
spots
on
to
the
put
console.
them,
This
even
map.
if you can get that same 360.
I don't think Breezy knows that certain death awaits him rappelled onto the balcony just outside of the meeting room.
Yeah, there's no way he can win that fight because he's got a shotgun in the pillars.
Yeah, and there's going to be another flash now here. Now Breezy definitely knows somebody is out there, but he just keeps pre-firing with that shotgun, hoping for the best. The smoke is somehow hitting Bosco, and I'm not entirely certain how it was able to get there that far, but regardless, Bosco took some significant damage.
I think Blackbeard has got to be the easiest player to use.
As they are managing to keep all of the attackers at bay.
Right, you are. Era now only a minute left. They're looking for their opportunities. They are going to actually use their drones here on this on the push into the site. But ZZ's going to try and deny some of those Habanas.
Dude, you got to give it to Reckless. They have really good teamwork.
So, allowing the A site players to stay alive a
like
little
as
bit
soon as like right there, you could tell. Whoever was at a bomb site A yelled out, they're Habanaing my wall, and then ZZ just quick dropped a frag there.
Like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're so well
Still just waiting. Bosco's gonna get a second kill as
The last team that was not attacking, they didn't know what they're going to do. They just rushed in.
Yeah. Their comms are on.
Some damage. Bosco has looked so good both yesterday and today. And ZZ
I really like Valkyrie's gun.
Super Bosco a third kill on the ZZ.
There's only 2 members left. Powerful
is down. It's all Fox.
Most of these guys are like using Hollow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fourth is downed Powerful, but didn't need to clean up, and it's now Era who has taken the lead. They are up 2-1.
That's a nice Claymore placement.
I mean, this is playing as I think a lot of us expected it too. Given that this is Era's map pick, I think it might just be map preference.
Would you say if you were to compete in this game, you would use primarily as your top 3 attacking, top 3 defending? Who do you think you personally play the best?
Now, console office
top 3, I'll play Hibana. Top 3 attacking, I can use Hibana, and then I can use Twitch, and then I can use Ash or Thermite
but,
maybe.
I mean, I think in the conventional standards,
which are all
and then
more typical options. So they can go,
and then on the defending one, I'll use this Ella. I can use Bandit, and then I can use Valkyrie.
We did see Castle played from
and those are also
last defense upstairs.
Very
to
good
try and
operators
deny some angles and which allowed Reckless to play inside a big desk.
I agree, especially with your
See
attackers.
again, the
really
Bosco
like
guy is on 8-0.
He's not
What's
a real
that?
Dang.
Who's
That Bosco guy?
Oh, Bosco.
Bosco guy?
Damn.
I think that's probably right, honestly.
He's again on 8-0.
He's got a lot of experience. He's been around.
I think I agree with your operator selection that you had mentioned.
Technically,
Yeah.
but
you play a lot of
they are
Hibana.
like most,
You play well with Hibana, and I think Hibana and Twitch have similar enough roles that they're OBJ oriented. You know, they have specific roles and then they frag, so they're both similar roles in that.
I mean, so we talked about how
and then on
I have just unlocked Thermite, so maybe I'll try Thermite.
You put your team in
yeah, Thermite.
Dude, like,
spot to be able to win every round.
I really wish that my PC was running. I really wanted to play some Rainbow.
Even if Bosco gets eliminated, the rest of the team is
Thermite brings a lot to the table. I'd say he's a little bit more OBJ oriented than a Hibana.
His gun is also really powerful.
Yeah, his gun is good. I think Hibana brings more frag power than Thermite, but they're both more good players.
Inside of the projector room.
Check out their weapon skins. They're so like good.
Yeah, and their charm.
Yep.
Well, there's a projector.
There's a projector in it.
I think if I were to pick my mains,
and we'll now look and try to open
I'd be backing. I'd use frags.
Of course, very good at doing that.
Ash, Hibana, and Twitch, I suppose, would be my top 3. But I could mix in like
1 minute now has transpired.
And what about defending?
Looking like they're setting up for that B take. They haven't really gotten anything done yet other than force off a little
defending,
bit of pressure onto yellow.
I
and
think
again,
that
no castle
I'm
here,
a
it's
bandit,
hurting the defense
Jaeger
somewhat in
main.
that they can't maneuver nearly as much. However, you got
I feel like that these guys,
hard with this lineup on,
what is its name?
Reckless
These guys are like, they've already given up.
very long for them to open up those castle barricades. So,
Which
one
ones?
inside of B, I want to say that's the
The
Echo. He's
ones,
going to be playing
this
aggressive onto the
glass.
damage him a
RL.
little bit, but also
Reckless?
take one glass shot in
Yeah,
return,
Reckless ones.
dropping both of them
They've got to
down
be feeling good
half
because
HP.
even if they lose this map,
Ultimately,
which,
though, the
like you said,
defense
it
is
doesn't
favored
look
in
like
this
they're
situation, given that the stall out is
doesn't look
successful.
like they're as
Here
as
come the
good on this
Capital
map.
Firebolts, and
They're
likely
still
smokes
tied
will
one.
go
I don't
one
feel
to
like,
one.
like they're doing any
Or later,
communication.
for an attempted
They're
plant.
just
just
doing
playing
the same thing over. They're not doing anything new.
Just as the glass tries to come in, he gets gunned down from Bosco, who gets kill number 9, and still inside of that closet is the Echo.
What time are you
Bosco.
on?
He has very little health left, and what is left of him will
I'm
be
on,
taken off the board as
53
Foxy
seconds.
gets a frag, and the
Round
first one
4.
for
What time are
Reckless
you on?
This round.
Yeah, same time.
Some smokes to prevent
Oh,
Era
yeah.
from being able to push in, but my
Now
man sprints in
45
and
seconds,
2 kills. That smoke
42.
might choke him off
Yeah.
as Gurmy joins in on the action and leaves ZZ with
Damn,
35
Ella.
seconds to get upstairs.
Valkyrie.
But no, outside
my
will
God.
run super, and ZZ doesn't
They're
have any
bagging,
time. And,
dude.
those are some party points right there.
Damn.
Who's bagging?
Managed to get that.
Jaeger's
Claymore and then
begging.
Dodged the other one by walking over it.
The disrespect.
It actually looked like
so-
both Claymores were still up.
Nice teabag, see?
Yeah, actually, you're right. The one
It
on the
did
window.
look
he
like-
didn't
looked
like
get
both
the
of
one
them
on the
were
window.
So.
I guess he must have just had some happy feet there
Damn.
and managed to jump over them very narrowly. It kind of looked like the window claymore was placed.
You don't see a lot of bagging in
the
the
little gap next to the
high
wall.
Higher
there.
scene.
So
Another
he probably
competitive
hovered on that, and then the one that was
Yeah.
placed
Like
underneath
they
the little ledge there. You can actually
do that
get
thing.
you can, as a
Even
free
like
spin, you
last
can
night, I
project yourself
remember
far
somebody,
enough that you can go over
somebody got a
that,
sick
you know,
double
over
kill
where
on
the ledge
border,
with the laser
and
started.
after they won, they
obviously the
kept
smallest
shaking
part
their
of the arc,
mouse right and left like they
whatever,
were
yeah, he
shaking
managed
them
to dodge
their head
2
saying, no,
claymores
you can't
narrowly
do
to get
that.
that final kill,
And after he
overall,
did it,
good
he
defense,
apologized and
from
said,
Era. The
"Hey,
main
didn't mean
takeaway,
to
of course,
shake my head,
is they got
no,
the glass,
I was
which means
just
the smokes
excited
didn't
or
really
something."
work for
Like,
the
even just something
attack
like that,
over
he
there
quick
very many smokes
apologized.
utilized, the Capital
This guy should also apologize.
I'm surprised
He's
that he
like my mouth
teabagged,
flip.
considering
And,
last game he
not a lot
finished
of
1 and
disruption
9.
coming out from
Yeah,
Reckless when they made the
true.
actual push, and then on top of that,
He
just
finished
the
1 and
L
9
time
last
also
game, and
he's
their
getting
team
his
got the L.
tearing everybody apart as they came in.
This time also he's getting his ass
It's hard to deal
carried.
with that.
Yeah, there was
What was
a
his
bad read
kill to death?
inside
I haven't seen it
closet
this round.
to force K9 out.
3.
Regardless, my man was able to get
Like,
on
if
site
you,
quick enough to repel into
like,
that push
pick out
inside.
Bosco from their
Bosco
team,
still
right?
inside a projector was
Like,
something that
they'll
you had to be able to
lose
get him
every
out of there
single match.
before you can
It
really
sure
have your
seems
push
that
happen.
way. Bosco
Because
is
it's been
carrying.
Bosco who's been
Like
the
every,
main
it,
focal point.
it's not like
for Era,
one
it's
match or
something
2 match. It's just every
Reckless
single
might need to
match
take
Bosco
heed
is
of
getting their
and
ass.
be a bit more
Yeah, he is.
effective on. Regardless, now
Blackbeard.
Era
Yesterday
goes
also
to
they
attack.
played 2
They are up
matches and
3-1.
he was on 9, 11 kills.
It's
And
because
the,
he's
all
playing the
the
skill
wins.
beard
These Claymores
position.
being put down work better than
Everybody knows
previously
skill
is
beard is
They
the
are desperately trying
hardest
to
player
find
to
the
use.
Valkyrie camera that was likely thrown
Yeah.
outside.
And he's
They
using the
don't have
DMR.
value.
He gets so easy.
They don't have a
It's so
Valkyrie.
easy to get
Yeah,
kills with
so, I mean,
Blackbeard.
They do have an IQ, so eventually they're gonna figure out that there isn't anything out there.
Like after
But,
after watching Pro League, I feel
mean, they're
like
gonna keep looking until they
you know,
are
like
100%
doing all the
sure, and
clutches and
that's
ace,
honestly fair.
and then
Because we
Yeah.
are talking about Consulate right now, and they're not omniscient. They don't know that there's no Valk yet, of course. So
Goddess plays a
eventually they'll
really
figure
good
it out.
bandit, I gotta say.
Team Reckless though, playing downstairs is the site they picked first.
you said that Goddess is a
They
girl
were
on the team.
successful here
Yeah,
because Era wasted
Damn,
a
dude.
ton of
Nice.
time.
yeah, it's
So
kind of cool.
hopefully for Reckless, they'll be able to stall out just like they did last time.
Oh, that's
Arguably
how
around
he's
that
doing
era
it.
really should have
He's
won.
calling
suspect,
out.
yeah.
It was just simply the way the fact that
No.
Breezy
He's
got
calling
those
out for his
No.
bandit,
pipes
which
in a way
panel
to-
they're
to-
putting
to
it on.
Stop that plant,
I mean,
but, it
it's
was
such a common angle though. It's really it falls on Era to not deny that angle, to not deal with that player before pushing.
Ooh,
Meanwhile,
Gurmy.
upstairs, Gurmy gonna eliminate Z. So
Dang.
Foxy now gonna be the lone roamer upstairs.
Those ashes,
Super's
those
gonna get
sneaky
Breezy
beavers.
in the back halls downstairs. Powerful refragging, though it is advantage in favor of Era still.
Oh wow.
Ooh, here we go.
That was a
Goddess
hell of a-
is going to even things out. A nice fight there. Usually you see that go the other way, but Goddess is going to force it out, trying to hold on to this garage
Damn,
wall.
did you see that Goddess
Finally,
killed
the
the
fight in K9
Ash
will
from
open
below?
up
That was a
panel three, and
nasty
then later
shot.
Panel 1, he's going for full exposure on this defense.
just what they tried to do last time, but they got bandit tricked, and that was part of.
Look at Fox's angle right here. He's 2 floors up above wall banging.
They did have somebody on yellow to
floor banging.
But do you know that this same spot there was a guy? What was his name? Astro. And the ants, they killed him from that garage. Oh damn! Same shit happened again.
Yeah.
That guy's again that doing the teabag thing. Nice.
Was he?
Plant going down, C4
Yep.
is going to get primed. Goddess
Damn,
comes
dude.
up onto
Goddess
Maman,
going in.
and they managed to miss the plant, but that is okay. K9 takes down Goddess, and they're going to try again. It's all up to powerful. Bosco will be there with his rifle shield to cover. He manages to get out of the way, and that's a very smart move.
Don't let him plan. Don't let him plan.
Just plays the angles.
Oh, nice.
Nowhere to go, and that Blackbeard in that position.
Honestly,
so
dude,
difficult
Bosco,
for him to be
fucking
able to
Bosco.
shoot.
it would have had to
Still
been
here.
a huge choke from Bosco to lose that fight. I mean, you got a 3 armor.
Yeah. You hear kicks.
No way Mira's going to get out of the corner safe by trying to dodge the left. You know, if you were Bandit, maybe you could have made that happen, but not as Mira. The
Bosco's
Damn, dude,
like
this has been a
really
dominant
nice.
performance on this map so far.
There's no way you're going to be able to.
I told you they like gave up on their first round only.
Yeah.
So Bosco would have had to whiff. He didn't, and now we have
They're not
Magic
even
already
like doing any
here
communication. They're
on
just
the
like
second map of
playing
this
it
best of 5.
casual that ESL
Era
match.
seeming very confident here.
Yeah,
Now,
they're kind of just
thing
giving
is,
this one
we
up.
did have match
like-
point in the
Go ahead,
exact
take
same
it.
fashion on the opposite
Yeah.
team.
But
on
even if they
Cafe,
do
and then
win, I mean,
suddenly
Era's
out
about
of
to win
nowhere,
this
Era
map.
started
It'll
to
be
come
1-1.
back and started out a little bit more.
But
But
still,
Reckless won the first one.
I don't know. It seems
see
right
that
now
Bosco
like
guy,
Era is
10-0
completely
death.
dominant. Like this is unquestionable Era round. So
Fucking
I'm
hell.
not sure.
We're on match point, and Bosco has not died.
Are you seeing that, Dan?
Bosco hasn't
What's
died a
up?
single time. So for
What's-
those of you
The
who
Bosco
know the
scoreboard?
stats
Yeah.
going into
10 and
this,
0. Oh, I didn't see the
stats
O.
going in here.
Yeah,
Bosco's
10 and
kill
0.
death ratio was 3.4.
That is
from
incredible.
Just of course one match, but 3.4 all the same. His round survival
Like it's
rate,
like this
was
thing is like every single match.
61%.
The guy is like on
That is the
11-1
highest percent I
or
have seen in a long
9-0.
It's 100% right.
And now he's
He's
10-0.
100% right now. So obviously moving forward, it's going to be much higher. But overall, yeah, Bosco's been having a really good qualifier.
Yeah, unquestionably playing better than any other member on his team. He played extremely well on Cafe, and now here too. Last night he tweeted that I guess he's the Blackbeard main now, and well, you can see with very good.
Do you know I'm
just as
gonna
formidable on
eat that
defense,
like
too. The
in
rest
the
of his
morning?
team is a very good supporting
You're
cast
gonna what?
that's allowing him the opportunity.
I'm gonna
to
eat
play this
pizza
way.
right now.
And take a look.
Pizza?
They're gonna go onto the main
Dude,
floor,
Yeah,
which
it's
a
um,
lot of teams aren't prepared
online
for that
only.
through a major curve in the plans of
There's
Reckless
a,
last time, and
50% off coupon for Pizza
Yikes,
Hut.
they're gonna have to deal with it again, but this time on match point, and Era hoping to
I ordered
even
Pizza
this
Hut last
game
night.
is
Pizza
right
today?
now, they are currently
I also ordered
trailing
last night.
Reckless
Pizza Hut?
So last time we
Yeah.
saw this happen,
Yeah, did you get your
Reckless got a little
50%
ahead
off?
of themselves, didn't drone out Projector.
No.
Now they're going to be faced with, well, Projector, but they have a lot of time. Hopefully they will use it.
Like
They
that
did
guy.
manage to get Bosco. He just kind of lingered inside of Projector and stalled out quite a lot. It's looking like it might happen
Bosco,
again
Bosco,
as Reckless is just, again, lingering outside of Projector. They are waiting for their opportunity, and Bosco is going to deny them said opportunity by eliminating ZZ on the Projector balcony.
Dude, what are they doing?
Breezy
Reckless,
had
like,
been down
literally
by
looks
Leman.
brain dead
The
right now.
smokes either way, a good
I
kill,
told you they're
and
doing.
another
Oh
kill
damn,
onto
this guy's like
Sophia as he peeks
12-0
around,
now.
gets out
The shit
Fox,
they're
gets
doing
a
is
little ahead
just
of himself, goes
stupid.
for Goddess,
What the
and loses
fuck?
his life, but honestly,
That
when you
guy
got
has, like,
those
13
kills,
zero death.
you can say that
13
dying
kills
in that
0 or
situation
like 1
is
death now.
perfectly all right. Bosco gonna die for the first
They
time
don't know what to
ever
do on
here
this map. They
on
don't have like
Conflict.
any stats to
13
tackle their
kills,
strategy.
having only played 6 rounds.
Absolutely insane round, an insane game for him so far. But Powerful gets the best of a man. Both he and Goddess very low on health and facing a deficit of numbers by 1. It is a 2v3 that favors Era at the moment. Diffuser being held by the Thermite. You've still got Yokai and
I got
Echo,
a
right? You then also have a Valkyrie
interview
and
for a
you're
job
gonna
that
have
pays
to
me almost
contend
double
with.
what I'm getting paid
And
right
they've
now.
finally taken
Damn,
control.
I applied
nice.
today and
But
they sent
we'll
me an
get to
email
know
and
Nick
they
on
started
the way
texting
to
me
the
right
main
away.
floor with only 40 seconds left. It's gonna
You
be a
should
tall
go for it,
task,
dude.
I'm going to
and Powerful getting the cameras.
When are
so
you going
at
to?
least their location
Tonight?
is known
Friday,
for
my
defense
interview.
as he primes a grenade.
Damn, nice.
And look at where the Jaeger
Oh,
is.
no.
Are you prepared for it?
Odd throwing mechanics there. He's going to try a second time.
Oh, he
It
got
didn't work this
screwed,
time, but
dude.
No, physics not favoring him at all. Powerful will dive down.
He got
and try to
screwed
go for the
over.
Jaeger, who has very smartly ran away and that is Super getting as far as possible. Goddess now gets down, that's Diffuser off, and it's all up to Powerful. He'll take Gurmy.
Do it, Power.
He's still got 2 more. Looks inside of the bathroom. Nobody there. Diffuser miles away. This will be relatively easy as K9 finishes it off.
Delta, are you prepared for the interview?
Yeah,
I'll prepare for it big time because I have Friday off, so I'll prepare a lot.
That's the era that we saw yesterday, and especially the
let's ask you the common
absolutely
question.
dominant.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just a matter of if I have what they're looking for and how many candidates they have to sort through.
Was comfortable on that map. More importantly, they counter-stratted Era from yesterday because again there was such a new and fresh VOD. Only a couple
But
hours
I applied
ago
and
was
like
that match
within
where, Era
2
was
hours
on,
they were
on Cafe.
my cell
So
phone.
they had a lot to study and they had a lot to go on.
Then they're
now
really
on
looking
console,
for
it's
you.
I hope so. They emailed me.
Played it in a while.
2 different people emailed me and then they
so
texted
let's
me
take a look
within
at
a
the
couple
highlights
hours.
from that match while we continue to talk about
That's
it.
encouraging.
But now that Era has managed to get out from under that
Just be
counter-stratting
careful that it's
shadow,
like a
and they've got onto a map that they're comfortable on
established
personally.
company.
Yeah,
they are-
I looked them up.
Yeah,
I
again,
mean,
like yesterday's Era,
if they're willing to
very
pay me what
dominant
they
indeed.
are saying, pretty good.
A good performance. I mean, Reckless
we'll
won
see,
that first
because
round. I think there could have been some major differences here, but I mean,
we'll see.
when you're in that
There's
situation,
still
there's no way as Mirror you're going to be able to get that. This was Bosco just getting too far ahead of themselves. Rushes up, and a good shot from Powerful onto Gurmy, but
With this
just,
Bosco
it
guy,
wasn't
like he'll
enough.
be on
It was
Reddit
too little,
soon.
too late. Now we have Oregon as map number 3.
He'll
Looks
be like
teams
all
are
over
in
the
line
Reddit.
waiting to
You don't
switch
be
sides.
talking about him.
From there we'll go. Now when you look at Oregon, you suspected that Consulate would play the same as Cafe would, or at least similar.
Well, I suspected that it would be an even match.
What's
I was
the time at
wrong.
your place,
It
Dad?
was not an even match.
8:45 in the
Consulate, a map
evening.
That's again, a lot of people are comfortable on. It's the same thing with Oregon. Lots of people, everybody in the competitive scene of
Do you have
Siege
work
has to be
tomorrow?
comfortable with certain
Yeah,
set of maps.
but it's still
Cafe,
early. I usually don't go
Consulate,
to
and
bed
Oregon,
until
these
like
are
11.
those maps. Border, right? But
What time is
clearly
it where
it
you
was
are?
just clearly it was the case that Arrow is just much more
It's
proficient.
8:13.
And on Oregon, I would want to say going into
Wait,
it,
what
same
time?
thing. If I'm just taking a step back, I would go and
8:13,
say the same
8
thing.
a.m.
It's a map that everyone should be comfortable on, but it's going to favor the team that practiced
We're
it
11
more,
and a half different.
recently
11 and a half
and
hours.
is just personally comfortable with it. Because I mean, I know that a lot of the time certain maps can favor teams just because of the personal preference of the players on the teams, less the strategy, less the work put in.
Wait,
so
I'm gonna like
who
go
knows?
to
Maybe
YouTube
that's
and
why we
check
saw
about
such a dominant
IT and
performance from
1060
Era
DPU.
and such a lackluster
Sure.
one from Reckless on this.
I'll
lap.
let you know when the next match starts.
And Oregon is going to be
Yeah.
one that your roam game is going to be very important to a
I3
point,
and
especially when
60.
you're defending that basement. How much time are you able to eat up inside a meeting room? Can you deny a couple Hibana, X-Kairos sets from taking care of the hatches? Because that is going to help your team in the long run. And when you look at that, the roam game for Reckless has not been great so far today.
No, I mean, I don't know if it's the roam game that hasn't been great. I think you're right. It hasn't. It hasn't done anything, really. I think it comes down to Era's hunting of that roam game, though.
Right.
Because, again, we talked about it on the first map, Cafe. There were rounds that Reckless won out because Era just didn't hunt the roamers. They didn't. They ignored them. And that allowed those roamers to either come from behind, C4 from below, or just reinforce the anchors later into the round. But as soon as Era started doing what they were doing yesterday and hunted them down, well, Reckless struggled, and they didn't have an answer for it. So I think you're right. I think it's going to play a lot into the roam game. Absolutely correct. And on Oregon, it's a map that it's not Chalet. You don't have to have a roam game, but it can help your team a ton if you do. And I think both of these teams are going to try for that. Maybe not in the earlier rounds, maybe towards the later rounds, but they're going to try for it at some point. I mean, on Cafe, when the two teams were still trying to figure each other out, they didn't really get
what happened?
aggressive at all.
What's your biggest fear?
They were just waiting in the sun. Both teams. So and then later they started to develop their play style.
Are you talking about the?
One thing we can say about both Reckless and Era is that they are development mid-round or mid-match development focused teams, and I like that about them.
I don't know, Dark
both
maybe.
aggressive, both chocked full of people who are capable of.
Mine is the Kool-Aid, man.
AKA
But I feel kind of stupid now that you say something real.
As we get ready, we're just going to.
You
look
told
at
me that
Oregon
it's
in just
hype.
a moment or so. Both teams are ready.
Yeah, no,
and
snakes,
from
dude,
there,
snakes.
We can start up our
Oh,
third
yeah, you
round.
don't.
Now this is
Do you have
Reckless's
snakes?
map choice as well.
Yeah.
So
You see 'em
it'll
always?
be interesting to see if they're able to do
No.
better because it did look like a comfort issue.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen
Arrow
a
looked like they
snake
knew
in like
exactly what they were doing
6-7
on
years.
Consulate.
Oh, really?
and
What kind of snakes
on
do you see?
Oregon, with it being Reckless's pick, Oregon, as you said, is one of those maps where you're gonna know.
I don't
how
know,
to
maybe
play it
a
quite
King
effectively.
Cobra?
It's the most
Really?
played map, and we're going to continue to
You've
add
seen
those.
one of
they're
those?
not like
Play it again, and we'll load into
I have
Oregon
seen
now.
one of those. Do you know the guy like a guy used to come around in the streets
Era, it's all tied up.
and he has
at one
that
apiece here in the
he
NA
does
Rainbow Six
something with the
Invitational
snakes
playoff
and people pay him
final.
like a street performer.
Oh no,
Reckless
dude, no,
on attack. Era
no.
on defense. Kids dorms.
He literally
going to
kissed
be
on the forehead of
first
that King
hold
Cooper.
here
You should see
for
a video
Era.
on YouTube.
Going
I'll send you a
upstairs.
link.
That's a bold choice. Usually I find
That's no, I would never.
that one of two things happens when it comes to Oregon pick.
That guy was like
you go top
controlling King
floor
Cobra
because
with his
you're
eyes.
confident, or you go bottom floor because you want to anchor up and play it safe.
Right.
Do you want to see the video?
No,
And
I
think
don't want
that's
to see
just,
anything.
Again,
I don't
that's
like.
highlighting the confidence of Era. They obviously just got to be
To be honest,
Like
I
they
also really
freak me
hate
out,
snakes.
man.
on
And
that
then I'd
high
like
after winning,
somehow
5-1
snakes end up in
on
my
console
dreams
just a
and
couple moments prior.
I
It's
don't
a
like.
slaughter.
It absolutely
It was not, and that arguably
Everybody-
could have been a 5-0
like,
because
everybody
that
hates
first
snakes.
round as
Yeah,
well.
they're
I hate
So, I mean,
It was
lizards
just too
too.
much time wasted. They
We don't
could've-
have
like you said,
lizards up here.
It was
It's
theirs,
too
right?
cold for lizard
Absolutely.
in Minnesota.
Now,
And
We
it's
don't have
maybe
a
too
single
cold for
lizard
snakes
in
also.
Minnesota.
the bomb site upstairs, it seems like it's going to
Damn, that's
be
good.
a
It
focus
must be
on
like really
kitchen.
bad for
You can
snakes
see mirror
too.
windows going down there, and the
Snakes are
nobody
terrifying.
inside sight right now. Of course, that will change once the prep phase is over. But that just what that tells us is that Era is going to put a
Dude,
lot
I
of
just checked the
focus
video
on
and
their roamers,
I think
as
like
that's where
I'm
the
good to go. It'll
reinforcements
run
are
like
going. They're going to be trying to
it'll
hold
run
the
on the
tower.
i3.
They're going to try and hold kitchen.
Oh,
They're
what are
probably
you
even
what are
gonna try and
you
hold
doing back
over
there?
by the lockers
Oh, the
area.
next
Who
game just
knows?
started, dude.
But it seems to be just
Oh.
What's your
I
biggest
like this
fear?
camera
Being
Gurmy's putting out
forgotten.
here. We've seen it a couple
I
times.
said earlier that my
Usually gets
favorite map
overlooked.
is
Most
probably
people know about
maybe
it, but it
Border.
still manages to get overlooked because
I
you don't
might
think
like
about,
this
Yo,
map better.
a
Then-
drone or a
then,
camera in a
like
drone
the post you tagged me in, what is your
So you
biggest
could do that.
fear?
I've seen
It's
people do
being
the,
forgotten.
Yeah,
camera
I
in
know.
coastline in that one drone hole as well.
But it was funny because you
It's very
said
bizarre
like
to
something
see a red
semi-serious
dot
too.
sight on Ying's LMG. Usually you'd see it in Chicago, maybe even like a hollow on it. But regardless,
Well,
Ying is going to be good on this site. Now
Mine is
it also
cool 8
looks
man,
like
but I feel kind of
with what they
stupid
took,
about
it's a team composition that will work well on both sides.
This
Right.
this
No,
map
it
is for
definitely
sure one of my
is.
favorite
They
maps
wanted
too,
to be
dude.
able to smoke strat by bringing that Ying,
Wait,
but at the
I'll
same time, they didn't want to
see.
gift themselves by having
Oregon.
Yeah, I think I'm good to go with the
smoke-oriented
i3
operators
processor
such as
and
Glaz.
SM60.
I mean,
I
Glaz
think
could
you'll
be
be okay
here,
if
but
you were
ultimately
okay at
you're,
on a 960
relegating
and you were
yourself
getting
to pushing
around
into
100
West
frames.
window at that
I
point,
mean,
and that's
it's
very
only gonna get
dangerous.
better.
Instead, Reckless is going to be focusing on with
Wait,
the
I'll
smokes they do
check
have, are
the
going to be
price of
focusing on a
1060
massive
if that
closet
guy
take,
like
much more
does something
standardized,
fishy.
and I think it'll probably work out for them. Now, they haven't dealt with the Valkyrie, I believe that is, inside of Armory, so that could be dangerous in the later half
Oh
of
my
this
fucking
round
God.
as we get there. But they are going to be conscious of her at least. These Candela's not likely to hit their target, but as Valkyrie peaks, they might just... No,
We'll
Gurmy's
see.
going to dodge them. K9's going to get a kill into Fox. Breezy gets a refrag onto Gurmy, and it's a nice even.
And that's one of those things where it's even though he ducked into the corner.
Dude, Twitter's hating on
Blair Witch Project style.
Yeah.
But
on
was,
Super for
looking the wrong
teabagging.
way, it doesn't really matter because the Ying was there to capitalize, and even though the DPS
That
on
dude was
the
like
LMG of
literally
the Ying is not
teabagging.
particularly high,
And then he's
still
like
able to
my
land those
I
frags,
sleep.
or land those kills and get the frag. Now you can see Bosco gets moved.
Should I
from
go for the
White
6
Stairs.
GB
Powerful
one or
just
3
can't
GB
be able to
one?
get him as he's jiggling
How much
around
is
that
the
corner.
price difference? Is
Powerful's
it
gonna try to
significant?
light him up, but can't. Those Candelas
No,
allow him
like
to push it
that guy, he told
effectively.
me that he'll
And the
get
Ying
me the
manages to miss
1060s,
every
like
single
3 GB
shot.
for
Very
10K,
peculiar.
but
Goddess
it's a
eliminates
second
K9,
hand.
but Bosco refrags,
What
and
about
Bosco
the
continues doing
6K?
well
How much is
as
that
ZZ
gonna go
eliminates
for?
him. So we're 2-2. The SAS
That thing
operators
is
with
around,
two left,
but
but
that thing
Maman
is
now coming
around
back to site,
25,000 on
is able to
Amazon,
take one down
25K.
before
So it's
being
almost
traded
double the
off. Literally
cost.
just back and forth and back and forth.
Well,
it's
It's
over
just
double
one
the
point
cost,
for
isn't it?
himself against
Yeah, it's
ZZ.
over double stuff.
I
With
think-
Hughes
about,
Plant going down
20.
against
Honestly, with
Wall.
that,
Super rushes in.
nasty.
ZZ manages to do it, and this is
Egg him.
another first
Dude,
round
what the
win
fuck?
for
Like
Reckless.
that thing is like
They're up 1-0.
$450.
Now,
What the
it
fuck?
was a first round
Like I
win,
told you, the
but
double,
will
like the
it be
prices are
enough to
double
break
here.
the momentum? Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Era on that round. So Bosco, he obviously did a great
it's
job.
Literally,
Like,
if
it's
it
like I
really
think
is,
things from
You
all
you
over
said
the world to
10,000
India.
for the
And
3
what we saw
gigabyte
from
one,
him was
right?
He ran into
Yeah,
the
but
main
it's
hallway,
a
so it was
second hand,
completely to the
so-
west window, and not accounting for that angle.
Unless the person
Like,
that
it's a used
second-handed
one.
it overclocked
Now,
it.
confidence is good,
and,
but
like-
when you make those pushes that you don't
That's what I'm
necessarily
like.
use
Why
it,
would
it
he like
can
sell
really
a
hurt
thing
your
for
team.
10K?
The main thing
Well,
you
how
take
much much is it full price? Like, not second hand.
The
in top 4
3 GB
defense,
one
if
is
you've got
for
someone in top of,
18,000.
White Stairs and somebody inside
80?
the big kids dorms, you have full control of the situation.
18,
Even if you're the ones
so,
with such a huge deficit, 2 versus 5.
Well, let's
But
see.
Moscow
How much is
decided
that in
to
US
give up
dollars?
top of White Stairs in
It's
order
about
to try and force out a play, and it didn't work out.
$350.
Meanwhile, you had the
350 for
Valkyrie, who
the
just saw no
first
Like
hand
near
one?
about
Rome by Armory.
Yep,
Now, yeah,
like
of
near
course,
about
there's not a lot you
380.
can do about those
350.
Candelas, but still, that's one whole player who just couldn't influence anything at all other than putting down her
honestly,
earlier in the round. So a couple players
that's about
nullified
right
as well
because
that just didn't manage
so
to
in
get
the
anything
US
done,
you said
and
$350
Reckless,
for a new
they had
one.
a really good
I
push, a really
sold
good
my
split.
second-hand
I really
one
like
for
the pressure that
150.
they even managed to keep on those west windows.
And that's about the exact same as what you're saying for
Usually
18
you'll see
down
that
to
Yeah.
10.
window be
It's about the
ignored,
exact same.
and oftentimes in a push like that.
It's just because it's used,
lot of
it
times you can
loses
see
so
too,
much
way more
value.
can
Like,
play out depending on the teams that
you
are
know,
playing,
most
is
things that are
the
used, they
defense will
just lose
almost
value,
always
and
win
it's
the
not
basement,
realistic. Like, it
but
doesn't
then
mean they're that much
you'll
cheaper. It's
struggle
just
as
that's
a
the
defense,
market.
or you'll
If it's
struggle
not
to
new,
take
Yeah.
it to
it's
top floor. But this case, they've already got a top floor win under their belt on Reckless.
But I'm
so
just worried that
pretty good overall
maybe
first start.
like,
Now
there's
Era's
like
gonna try
something
to
wrong with the
push anybody
GPU.
out that
Well,
may be playing.
yeah, that's the risk you
inside
run.
of
You know, that's
small
why
tower.
you're
It was
getting it
breezy,
so much
but
cheaper
he's
because
nimble and has a 3-speed, is just able to rotate.
I like
know,
tell him to let me
site.
run this thing
Gurney
like
has
first,
taken
then I'll
over that west tower or
then
small
I'll see
tower,
what I
depending on
can
how
do.
you call it.
yeah,
Now
I
moves
know,
in
but
through the
isn't it
hallway
really hard to
outside.
get
A
that
nice
kind of
medium
deal?
wall presence, and they will need
Like
to
when
do
I was
some
selling my
appropriate
1050 or
tone
1060,
I'm taking my
to
this
get it.
CPU
You know,
with
it's
me.
interesting. There are so many calls for
Oh,
these
to
various
college?
different things inside of Siege. You know,
No, to the shop.
compass calls are
Oh,
usually
oh,
not
it's
the
in
ones
like
that
an
are
actual
referred to.
store.
You know, a lot, especially at the highest level
Yeah.
of play, you'll
It's
have
not like from
each
a
team has
just
their
a
own
random
specific
seller.
call they like to use. I know
No.
Oh, that's
when
good
I
then.
first moved from
That's
North America
a
to
lot more
Europe, it was
trustworthy
very
than
confused because
like
you had a
what
lot of
I was
European
doing was
players,
just
playing at
selling
Dive, you have
it
a lot of European pros, and they'll make calls and it'll be
to
like,
random
does that
people,
mean?
you know,
Because
just individuals.
not only does every team in North America have their own
And
specific
if they would have
calls, but
said,
every
"Hey, I
team,
want to run it,"
gets
I'd been
even more
like,
diverse when you go from
yeah,
region to region.
right.
So like
Because
the
how
tower
the
you
fuck
just
am I gonna get
referencing
your
could be called
PC
junk tower, small
like where I
tower,
am? That's not gonna
your
happen.
west
It's
tower.
just
There's so
take
many
that risk.
options.
But in your case, you can mess with
And
it. You
there's
can
terms
try
that
it.
I
Good.
think largely are used just
Yeah.
for convenience. So, for example, some of them are a bit longer, you know, and
Yeah.
they'll just shorten them down just
But,
so
I
it's
mean,
Are you gonna be able to
there's
like
calls that
sign
have
on
been
to
called
Siege
named
and like
after
run a
specific
terrorist
players. Like,
hunt?
for
Or
example,
what are you gonna?
K9, who we have in this match, he has
Yep,
like
maybe because
6
the
different
CD is on
places
my hard
named
disk.
after him. Like almost,
Yeah,
like maybe
because
one on
if you
each
bring your
map,
whole setup,
map that
at
is
least then it's
commonly
all
played
on
in
there
Pro
already.
League.
chalet, it's the terrace or the
Yeah.
balcony outside.
Yeah, above
it's
main
called,
lobby.
above main lobby. It's called Canaan.
You know,
On,
you could
Canal, when
run a
Canal was
terrorist
still
hunt,
inside of
just
Pro League, we
turn
played
on your
it a
frame
lot.
counter so you
And
can just
K9
see what
sat
it's
on the top of
getting and
Red Brick, and he
see
just
how you
that was
feel
where he
running
sat,
compared
and
to
he got a lot of kills. He was very
6
proficient there, but he
gigabyte.
was always there. So it dubbed the name.
The one
K9.
that Brandon and
So,
Greasy
in
and
this
myself
round,
had, we had a
coming off that
1063
conversation,
gigabyte. So.
we have Era have established a lot of control. You can see they have Medium
Like
Hall as well as the
you
main
didn't
lobby.
have
They're
that
gonna be mostly
6
focused
GB
on
one?
an A
No, I had a
push
3
and laying
gigabyte.
down those smokes.
Oh.
And there's been no kills
And
so
Brandon
far.
and Greasy both have 3
Foxy
gigabyte
is
ones
going
as
to
well.
be asphyxiated to death. My man, a nice grenade kill on
I just hope
ZZ,
that
and
it,
Era
like,
will add to
it
that as
won't
well.
bottleneck.
Super joins in on Goddess. It's a
Yeah,
slot. Breezy comes
that
down, a
guy-
double kill from
Damn,
Breezy
that guy-
as he eliminates Super and Bosco,
Okay,
and that's
yeah,
going to stop
dude.
them in
Like,
their
I
tracks.
honestly
They have
don't
30
know
seconds,
what the
and after
difference is
Breezy's good
essentially
run,
between
he's taken down by K9.
3
Nice
gig
shot
and
through
the
that
6
hatch
gig.
inside
I
of
really
the
don't know
main
like
lobby.
why it's
Like there's a very big difference between a 1080 and
Area
this
denial going
6
down as they
and
spray
63
inside of
GB
that
to be
hole, and
honest.
just as he
Did you
pushes out,
like feel any
he hears a
difference?
flank from Gurmy. Can't win that gunfight.
I'd probably
Gurmy only
see
takes
double the frames
minor
per second.
damage and gets out with the
Yeah,
kill, and
that's what I'm
Era
saying.
answers
But I have a
back.
1080 8
That was
gigabyte.
quite a play by Breezy, but still better coordination.
My old
I
one was
just
a
like hope everything
1060.
goes well.
I
It was
mean,
a
absolutely
1063
ruthless, I have to
gigabyte,
say.
so
Like, that was
I
an amazing
not only
attack from Era. They
I
propped
doubled my
themselves up
gigabytes,
perfectly.
over doubled from 3 to
Reckless didn't
8,
try to
and I
hold
went
on
from a
to any
1060
of the
to an
roaming
1080. So
whatsoever. They
it was a
forfeited
I
pretty
have
the lead
also like
completely
big upgrade.
without any loss to
Yeah.
either team.
I have also talked to a guy
And
who
then in
says
a
that
5
like he can
versus
try
5,
fix my
every
GPU.
position was
I'll
read
go
out
to him
from
first
Era.
of
They
all
got
and
the
then
A kill on the guy
like
inside
he'll
of Laundry
tell me
Closet.
that
They
it,
got
like
the
if it's
fire
like
arrow onto
properly
an Ela
burned
hiding
or
by the
like maybe he
washers.
can
How
fix
did
it.
they even know?
How much
And
does
then
it
the
cost
smoke
to
coverage
fix it?
completely
How much is
denied
he
any
charging you?
C4 smokes or anything being played from
Maybe
the
like
closet
1,000 bucks.
window. And then on top of that, even losing 2 players to that
So
Breezy
that's
rush,
a
they managed
tenth
to
of what you would
I mean,
pay for a 1060.
it was a beautiful push from Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that situation, I see the logic
Again,
behind
this is
trying
the
to
Arrow we saw
fix it.
yesterday. This is them being extremely on point, and hopefully for
Like
them,
I
they're
have
gonna
to
be able
like
to continue that trend. They still
go to
have,
him first of all.
at the least,
I
they
feel
still
like
have 2
maybe
more
he can
maps in
fix
this
it,
best of
but
5.
I don't know. Maybe he can't.
So we will see Shaolin
Because
go
like
down
I have tried every
could
single thing, like
potentially
uninstalling
be
the
final map we
GPU
see,
and then
but
going back to Windows
considering
7 and
wanting
then
to go
installing
all the way,
Windows
we wanted to
8
see
and
a
then coming back
tiebreaker.
to Windows
I mean,
10.
I'm expecting a good push.
That
here.
guy
I'd
like
love to
told me
see
the
Border
possible solutions I could do
You
at
want Border to
home.
be the finale?
I like
would be
did
the
it.
It would be the finale.
So
with
what do
the
you
cider
think
map,
is
yeah.
the issue?
So I mean, I would love it to be the
The
finale
GPU
as
is the issue,
well.
the display driver.
Like, what is the error code, or like, what is it?
There's nothing error code. It's just like black and white screens, black and white lines all over my PC.
Oh, you can't even boot up like your main menu?
No, I can like
You can go
go
on the
to
internet
the
and
like.
stuff, right? You can search the web.
Yeah, I have sent you the video like where it like flickers, the screen flickers and it scatters around.
Well, very simply, Reckless just
Have you seen that video?
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I'm reading here. Here, I'm gonna send you a couple links.
Didn't manage to get the
I don't know. Be
just
careful. Don't just, you
they
know,
managed to get the control necessary to establish
take for granted and just say, well, that's the problem.
1 minute
But at
already
least look
transpired
into
in
this to see if you feel
round.
these match
Like
your...
I can do anything right now because anyways I'll have to like buy a new GPU.
Yeah, I mean, just check them when you get a chance.
So
just run
they,
through
like,
it
they
and see
forget
if
how
the
to
symptoms
drone,
match
and then they
kind of
just
what you're
realize in
getting.
other rounds that they're doing great. And
Yeah, wait, I'll check it right now.
Fox gets a kill.
A lot of
onto
people say
K9
that
there.
it could
looked
just be
like there was
dirty.
ZZ's
Like,
drone on him,
is it
but
dirty?
That was a, that's
I know
a
it sounds
shot
stupid,
it is.
but is it?
I think chat is,
Yeah, it's like
chat's gonna be
I
very
haven't like
interested.
cleaned it in like years.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, a lot of these are saying like take it apart,
That was
clean it.
that was something. I mean, Gurmy gonna get the refrag on the
This
Fox,
little
so
symbol.
good job to Gurmy
Yo, this is
taking
some
that
like
initiative.
out
K9's
of
gotta
my
be just
mind thing.
scratching
I
his
can't
head
do it.
though right now. Good job, Fox. I guess you.
I don't know
sometimes
like
we get
how to
lucky.
open up
A
the
going
GPU.
on to the A bomb side as ZZ's gonna rush
I
into
can
side
assemble
of B.
PC, but
Now
I can't
he
like
has
do
the
this.
positional advantage. No mirror window though because
I
K9
love
got
this
eliminated
aggression.
so early. He's
Reckless,
I can
hold on
try.
to
they
as long
are,
as he possibly
like,
can, waiting for his
they
teammates to
play
come
with
the
aggression,
diffuser.
but
Goddess
it's
repelling into
contained
generator,
aggression.
But the angle from the top of White Stair, actually not generator, rather.
They're
the
not
White
just
Stair
throwing their
balcony.
lives
Angle from
away
the
trying
top
to
of
do
White
something
Stairs and
crazy.
still
They're
deny
doing
generator push,
aggressive
so
play,
ZZ's gonna need
but
to get that kill
They're
onto
getting the
that
kills.
player.
being smart
Top
about
white.
it.
Goddess now looking to open up that wall and
Like,
go in for
right
a
there
plant.
when
Smokes
Sledge
are coming
naded
out.
that
The
and he
run out
sprinted
from
over to
Super
where
on
he
the
is.
tower is not gonna do anything. My
It
man
was
will
a
take out Goddess.
smart,
That's
it was
the
aggressive
planter,
push, but then once he got there, he
control in
calmed down.
favor of
You know,
the
he didn't
attack.
keep
Reckless
going
had
wild.
actually managed to get the diffuser here as well.
Yeah.
So despite a
was
disadvantage in
kind of-
terms of man count, they have the positions from below. Era attempting
Dude,
to deny,
there's
but it's
no
not gonna
way
happen.
they
The
lose
plant
this
will
round.
go
All the
down
defenders are down
in the
below
very
them.
depths of the B bomb site.
Yeah.
Reckless
There's
All
no
they have to
way
do
they
is
should
now
lose
go
this
to,
round.
Era starting their retake. They
gonna
have
win this
control
one.
over everything that is not kids' dorms.
Yeah, every attacker's
Smoke's going out.
in the defending side now.
Breezy's gonna bite the dust from Bosco at the top of White.
Oh my
He's
God.
gonna get a double kill into ZZ. An excellent round for
What the
Bosco so
fuck?
far in the
Oh
third.
my God.
Bosco guy.
Bosco with a nice
Oh my
retake
God, I
will
told you,
get
dude, this
that
Bosco
disable
guy.
onto the diffuser and
What the
establish
fuck is
a round
Bosco?
lead for Era.
There is no
That
way
was
they should have lost that
Reckless's
round.
and it just
Dude, that
slipped
Valkyrie's
away. You
teabagging.
can see a little bit of BM happening there at the end.
He's
Oh my
slipping.
God.
He's
Confident in
slipping.
themselves. Era. Don't want to let them get to
Who's
don't let
Valkyrie?
that get to your heads,
Who was
guys.
that?
That could see you guys
The
losing
same
this
guy.
best of 5, honestly.
The one with the
She was
like least
crumping.
kills.
She was crumping.
She was
Is
crumping.
that what
Wow.
that was?
That's crumping.
Is that what that's called? I'm not familiar. Honestly, not familiar. But
No,
that was
even
a great
Ix is getting
retake
sick of
from
it.
Era, and
Yeah.
but you really
Dude,
got to
like,
put a lot
why
of
would
reckless
they
because
do it? They're like
you had
demotivating
everything
the
going for you,
opponents.
right? You have 3 people inside of
They're
one
just
room,
making
and
them,
all
like,
you need
feel
to do
more
is hold a
bad, you
couple
know?
angles. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for you because everyone's holding the wrong angles. I mean, we saw Bosco
Yeah.
holding a long angle
Not
into
like not
generator.
even bulky. The bandit
Nobody
was
holding
also
white
doing that
stairs.
teabagging
Bosco was
thing.
Yeah.
able to, sorry, Bosco was
It's
just
only
waltzing
coming
out
through
of
white
Era.
stairs and nobody's looking at that.
My man was originally
wanting
on
the
white
attack.
Just
stairs.
take the
It looked
Bosco
like
guy out
Goddess
and
was
they'll know
trying
their
to
thing.
stop my man from being able to come
Yeah.
in, but she lost that fight, and that's
See,
really when
again,
the
dude, that
only other
Bosco
left, but
6'2".
yes, wow, the
6
smoke
kills
thing
to that.
doing a great job.
Dude,
And not
he
playing
is-
Blackbeard,
you're
as
right.
Blackbeard is really not
Carries.
well suited to Oregon all the time. Running a Capital
Last match also
instead.
13 kills and
Reckless is
1
gonna go
death
back
this
downstairs
time.
and hope that their luck changes
6
this
kills
time
to that.
around as they now trail Era. And this, of course, being Reckless's map, you don't want to be trailing, period, but especially not on a map that you picked for a specific reason.
Yeah. So a couple mistakes, unfortunately, on that last round for Breeze, or for, well, not only Breezy, but all of Reckless. And now, basement hold from Reckless. Again, they've already lost 50 HP on Goddess. Looks like she might have been reset. Not entirely sure there, but all the same, low HP. That's not going to be nice. This is going to be, or at least she is going to be able to get all of her utility down. That's, I suppose, important.
Dude, like, Pixta
West
should
side
create
clear
his own
coming out
team now.
from Era, and this is old strategy. Oregon
I was watching his
still
stream,
go
I don't know, maybe
drone out
3
everything on the
weeks
west side,
ago,
because there's only 2 floors on the
and
west side, and you don't have to
usually,
worry
you
about
know,
bombs
he
if you get out of the
he
way
kind of gives
early.
a pretty brief
They're gonna be
answer
met
to
with
why
a
don't you
bandit, I
compete
wanna say,
anymore.
in Breezy,
But he got
who
super
has just fallen back
interested
from being
in
all, who
like
was playing inside of
answering
Kitchen.
why
Soon as
he
he saw
didn't
drone,
compete,
took
and
the
he
initial
was
pull
saying
back. That's smart,
how
honestly, against Era right now, the way
before
they're
this
playing,
season
you find
started,
an Era
he
drone,
had
you
some
run
very
for
good
the
team
hills,
offers
and
where he had
I
actually
cannot
considered it,
disagree
and it
with that.
wasn't just
Amazing
like
for Breezy.
any team.
And
It
that
was like he
that
wouldn't
was
say
exactly
he
what they did
would
before.
name
Gurmy
team,
stormed inside a small
but he said
tower
that
and did some
some of the
drone
top
work. Super
team
was helping
had
him out.
asked
They
him
were able to find
to
they
play,
cleared it all out,
and he had almost
really given
considered
up a
it, but
lot of
he
room
just said
now.
he was liking
But of course,
his
it does take time, and take a look. They're
Procasting.
still droning. Now Bosco's been able to drone inside of sight. Eric can
Like
actually
this guy,
get
like
in and get
Kickstarter
control.
knows every
3
single
members at the moment of
team now.
Reckless
Like
up
he
top.
he
A man
knows
is gonna
what
be the
they'll do.
first to fall. Down goes
That's
the
exactly right.
Buck.
He
ZZ
knows
gets a headshot
every
onto him.
strategy that any
Single.
teams are putting together.
Too powerful. Smoke
Yeah.
gets lead off kill.
He
You've lost
that's
your
his
what
job
most
to
of the
watch
teams have
everybody's
offense.
strategies.
Which is going to
Yeah.
Like
harm you.
And then
he would
you-
but it
be
is not
the
incredibly
perfect guy to
detrimental.
hire as like your
They'll
coach.
manage to get some of the barbed wire at the
Yeah, to
bottom
be
of White
honest.
Stairs.
Come in,
Bosco's
show
going
me
to be
the
a formidable
intel.
foe at that hatch, as he has the ability
And if
to
you
both
don't want to
smoke off
play,
as
don't
well
play.
as
But at least now you gave us the
or
intel to
burn,
go
rather.
defend.
Yeah,
Leading
like what
defenders
opportunity
if
would
they're not
they
careful
like
enough. But look at this,
to
they've completely conceded control of Meeting Hall. They've fallen back to sight as now Era still has well over a minute to make
like
this work.
Kickstarter not
It
only
appears they
plays
will
good, he also
stop
creates
most of
strategies
those
also.
ex-Kairos from blowing up
Yeah,
the Mira.
he does.
Super now just behind that laundry room basket can get the plant down.
Yeah, the
Bosco
plan is
storms
going
down
down.
White Stairs to try and keep him at bay or keep him
I have to say,
all right. Those mines from the Ella will prevent Super, who now will
that
inhale all
this
of that
teabagging
toxicity.
and
He tries
stuff
to stick the landing, pays
almost
for it,
makes
as a
like
big double kill
you
from
want to
Gurmy
cheer
comes
for
out, and
Reckless.
ZZ in
You know,
powerful fall and leaves
Yeah.
us
These
at
Era
3-3.
guys are
The
so,
diffuser,
like,
though, sitting
toxic.
by that washer. Gurmy's going to try for another,
Like
this
the
time
whole
onto
fucking team's
Breezy. He'll
acting
throw
like those
flash
ranked
in
kids.
hopes of trying
Yeah,
to take
like
out
show
that
some
bandit
respect.
as
This
the
team
bandit
is
will rotate.
they deserve respect,
Final
man.
30
They've
seconds as
gotten
we
here.
hit the mark. Fox takes down K9. Gurmy has very little health left. Bosco, though, fully healed.
Oh,
Breezy storms
Breezy.
in, and it's just the Capitao on White Stairs to try to contend
But
with
what the
3
fuck is
members.
this
If there's any
Gurmy
player that's
doing
gonna
with
be
the
able to punch
Ash?
it out, it could be
The
him. He
Ash
tries to
would
take
not
out Goss,
die.
but
That was
Paris
insane.
is going to bounce over top of her
Yeah.
head. And you can see unhappy with that aim. Final 15 seconds. He does have the diffuser. We'll go through one of those meeting all hatches.
I just want them to lose now.
I
these
know,
Bosco
like,
guys.
they've been
Here we
such
go,
douchebags about it. You almost like
showing
want to
signs of
see
life. Not gonna let this one slip
Reckless
away like
come
they
back and
did
win.
in Consulate and
Yeah.
their
Oh,
successful defense.
there you
Now,
go.
We saw the main reason I think.
Although
that
you
round was
gotta,
won
you kind of like it
is
as a
because of the
spectator to
Ella
see
Gersmont mines.
both sides like showing they're
Perfect
really into
throws,
it.
Denying the plant for
Yeah.
so long.
You know,
and
they're
then
really
followed
competing.
up by gas
Yeah.
canisters from
Both of them are
Smoke
like
on ZZ.
really going
So
against
good
each
job
other.
to Reckless to be able to time those perfectly,
Yeah.
not allowing the diffuse plant to go down. There was every amount of utility from Era put into that diffuse plant potential, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, they timed it really, really well. I'm sure it was rhythmic, done deliberately, but you used your Gersmonts to perfectly space out how long you were going to be
I feel
dying
like
to use it in
Greasy,
the
he
actual
should play
smoke
like
too,
Greasy.
to finally take Super down.
What do you mean?
Super looked like he was a hair away from being able to
Like
get that diffuse plant
Greasy.
off, but
He should play
unfortunate
like Breezy,
timing
Breezy.
for him, that left them very vulnerable. While we are all
He doesn't
tied
play this
up
game.
You know,
at the end of
Breezy.
round number 5.
Yeah, but like in PUBG though.
Just hide and let everybody else do the
Most
work.
Even match or map we've seen so far. I mean, Cafe was a little bit back and forth, sure, but this is just trades and trades and trades.
Breezy should buy Rainbow,
And
to
it
be
doesn't
honest. I
ever
think
seem
he
to be
liked
that
this
either
game.
of the teams are going to be stepping away with a significant, like an absolute outright lead. So I really like that about Oregon. I think we found the run here. This is actually, ultimately, I think this is probably going to be one of the most important maps in this best of 5. I mean, obviously every map's important.
Dude, everybody's
but
tweeting
considering
about
how close it's
Bosco.
been so far, that means whoever takes
Dude,
away
I
this win
told
is
you
gonna
that,
be
like,
feeling
literally
so
that guy's like
going on to that.
I feel like
11
pivotal is
kills.
the
It's
word
not
that
that,
we
like,
can describe this is because that no
I
matter
don't know
which
if
team
he's
wins, they
that
will
good
go
of a
to
player. Like
After
they're not like playing against some casual players.
Yeah.
They're playing
the
against pro
championship
teams.
match,
Yeah.
rather,
And that
because
guy's
they
like
will be able to knock
literally
the
he
other one
knows
out.
the.
Qualifying point, I
He's on
Oh,
another
yeah.
level.
I would just say championship.
Championship
please.
point.
Like
We'll
this
go with
game is
championship.
usually really hard for a guy to continue to get so many more frags because
Yeah.
it's just a
What
game
happened
that
there was,
you gotta get lucky
especially-
at times
let's talk
and
a
just
little
be
bit
at at the right time, in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Critique things at the right time, but everything he's doing is right.
Almost all the rounds on Cafe, I would argue, were very definite.
Yeah.
But
That guy's
they
like
both won
literally,
similar amounts.
I don't
That's why
know.
kept going back and forth.
And then here we have we have comebacks after comebacks.
Like every single game they have played this season, that guy is literally carrying them in every single game.
Yeah.
And they're like being toxic about it. Like they know that they're going to win no matter what.
Yeah, because of Bosco.
Yeah.
So that Hammer and
that's the thing. Era, I think they're the better team, but
actually didn't work out because there wasn't.
I mean, right now it's literally dead tied. One game apiece and 2-2. So really
I just want the Reckless team to win.
I do too. I want them to win too.
Yeah, so like their ego.
The only this is the thing though that I was thinking about when I was deciding beforehand who to cheer for is that lately North America has just been, I mean, Europeans have dominated us. Like they've just been better in all the major teams. The Europeans have been better than us, and I feel like as a North American player, I want to see my region do well.
Like,
and I think
like these North American teams, like they're against each other. They should be like friendly, you know?
Yeah, like Penta and Ents are actually like pretty friendly with each other. But
yeah.
To finish that point is that I feel like Era has a better chance to do well at the tournament than.
But they don't have a chance to win the tournament, to be honest.
I don't know. I think they have a better chance than Reckless. And that's why, like, coming in, I was kind of cheering for Reckless, just because for North America's sake,
like,
I think they have the better
option. They use the same stretch that we use in the rank match.
Yeah, but Kickstar did allude to this earlier. He was saying how
I haven't seen like any team pushing from the below the construction site. Like every single team, they're pushing the same match.
But the one thing about that construction take, and Kickstar has always alluded to this, is that he's maybe seen like 1 in 25 successful pushes from back. Like it
still,
never
like,
works.
they can use that flash guy, the guy with like tons of flash.
Ying. Yeah. But that was another thing
Ying.
that he was saying too earlier. Kickstar was that they didn't have time, because normally, like, when you prep for a match in Pro League, you play like once every 2 weeks. You have so much time in between matches to implement new strategies and study the other team. Where this, they've literally been playing 4 days in a row, never knowing who your opponent was going to be until a couple hours before the match. So they haven't had time like normal to prepare and like put in new strategies.
Even at
And he's right.
Like at every level of play, really, in Siege, it's not
That's,
an
I mean,
occurrence that you
that
say,
point
okay,
makes
the
sense.
situation is this. This form of utility has been expended, and they've got the plant, and we can't.
But
that isn't happening.
Shouldn't you have a bunch of different setups for rooms? You know, there's only so many maps.
Win each round, and that's why we've seen such amazing comebacks as the one we just witnessed prior and before that.
Yeah.
So, props to
Pro League is all about seeing new stats, but they're like pushing the same thing, doing the same thing, the same roasters every time.
Yeah, I agree. You almost wonder if they're so afraid, afraid to not lose, that they're only putting in the strategies, they're only using the strategies that they think works every time, rather than just putting in, like, trying out some new ones, trying out some different ones. They just don't want to, like, throw away around.
But still, they have to take the risk to like win the game.
No, I agree. You gotta play, like, one way that I always learned, like, playing sports growing up was, you don't play a game not to lose, you play a game to win. Like, you play a game to win, you don't play it to not lose.
Kind of hunkered down. I mean, we talked about how confident.
If that makes sense. Like, that's one thing that my coach has always stressed. You're playing.
Yeah, I'm going to mute my mic for a minute. Okay, like go to the other room.
Era has control over Junk Tower, West Tower, and Small Tower. All 3 of those 1 locations. And Bosco is going to be conscious of the peeking of ZZ, losing a little bit of HP as he drops down from the top of tower. Ash will actually see ZZ, but not going to take that fight. I think Gurmy's aware it's an Ela and is like, maybe trying to use something a little bit, a little cheesy to get the kill instead of fighting that straight up, because it's very dangerous to do that. He's also managed to sneak his way behind a lot of the roamers, but Goddess from above will be ready to watch her teammates' flanks. So good job there. My man, meanwhile, trying to contest this broken window, but all of the roamers in Kitchen have very wisely rotated out of Kitchen because they have lost the Mira and they are going to be safe. So an excellently or perfectly played round, I have to say, on the roam from Rekkles so far, and Era struggling.
Doing some great drone work, as we've seen from Era before. A lot of patience on a very aggressive team, and the support players really need a lot of credit here in order to make this happen. Now, K9 and Maman are circling, trying to dislodge the B anchors, but they can't find them just yet. And of course, they don't want to give their position away, which is why there's a bit of patience from Maman opening this up, but will now decide to go off and take care of it. Now, K9 just keeps feeding clip after clip, or magazine after magazine inside of that mattress, just in case somebody pops up.
He only has like 2 mags left. He's running low on ammo.
Right.
There's only 35 seconds though.
And they look like they're harassing the Doc of Powerful, as he's gonna go in and do yet again some softening up of that mattress, and there's nobody there. And look at this, almost completely out of ammo as well on Buck for that skeleton key, or rather, very interesting. Regardless, they are simply running out of time. 15 seconds, they finally get a frag onto Powerful, though Breezy is there to have his team's back. They set up for a trade. Goddess and ZZ get in on that action. K9 with only 6 bullets left will pull out his Magnum, and he's got 3 to try to go through. Goes for the Mira, but can't land the shots. Gets flanked by Fox, and Rekkles does answer back. That's 3 to 3 as the Bandit sneaks up white stairs, or back stairs, or whichever stairs you want to call it.
White stairs, I think
White
most people tend to
stairs.
call it. I think in
Dorm stairs.
in Siege competitive, generally, especially when it comes to stairs, the calls are just what color is what's the dominant color on the staircase. You know, red stairs on Cafe, they're called red stairs because there's a red carpet. You know, white stairs there, called white stairs because there's white walls. I mean, that's just what it always is on stairs, especially.
But then you have the stairs that have staircase.
Which one?
The one that's in the bar on Cafe.
We're talking
First
about
floor.
Cafe.
Brown
I mean,
stairs.
that one.
I call
no,
it brown stairs.
That one has so many calls. Let me tell you. You got first floor stairs, main lobby stairs, brown stairs, library stairs. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Everyone has their own call for that one. I think it's because it's a position that's not often played, honestly.
Right.
It's a really good position. I remember it being incorporated in a lot of earlier strats on Cafe in Rainbow Six, but these days it just doesn't seem to be a position that gets called out a lot. So everyone has their own call. It hasn't really been whittled down. You know, that's the way it works with calls, is eventually once something becomes super common, all of these smaller calls, they start to give way to the more dominant ones that are used at in Pro League. But yeah, I don't know. That specific staircase has a lot of calls. Anyway, we're playing Oregon right now, not Cafe, and it is 3 to 3. Rekkles and Era, toe and toe, really, like absolutely back and forth. Every time I think Era is gonna start to take away a lead, Rekkles comes back, and every time I think Rekkles is gonna start to take away a lead, Era comes back. So it is just never-ending contention here between these teams. Now, it looks like Rekkles is going to set themselves up for a push into Master. So this is the same way they tried to fight this 2 times that they've gone here. I think it worked for them once, didn't work for them the other time. So they're going to have to hopefully go for the more positive attack. We'll see what happens for them, though. They do have a Hibana, not a Thermite, which means they're going to be able to open the closet from afar, not exposing themselves to any potential C4 from below, though it doesn't look like any defenders are in that position to do so. So not a worry they need to have.
Hey, they'll come back.
Hey, what up?
Really
I just got my pizza too.
Rekkles have the control they need.
Do you want to
Era
see
not
what
trying to
like
fight it.
a pizza, the one I ordered, look
ZZ's
like?
posted
Yeah, send me a
up. This is
picture.
a very similar strat to last time. They're going to look to try to open up that master bedroom.
I ordered the 4
closet
boxes,
wall.
and
The
they have
last
the
of the
these have
X-Kairos
the
will
4
go off. Did you see where that first round of X-Kairos went?
different flavors.
Might have gone to potentially clear out the ADSs, but I'm not entirely certain. Regardless,
It's probably for ADSs, yeah.
likely. First smoke goes down, that's going to buy Era some time, but it is very early. Now, some of those smokes can be used for rotates, so you can use a smoke and expend it early if you feel that it's more valuable. But now a second is going to go down, and that's going to deprive Bosco of 2 of his 3. Just 1 left. Final one will go down, and Goddess will breathe in a lot of toxic gas as Breezy goes for the run through, but K9 guns him down, and Bosco manages to take out ZZ as Powerful eliminates Gurmy off screen. Now Maman climbs in, and he'll clobber Goddess. Foxy went for the Mira on the window, but K9 persists.
I can take a picture using the
Mira's
flash.
trying to do work to repel Foxy, but he can't do it. Bosco decides to do it himself as Maman jumps in. He'll take out Powerful, and we move to match point as Era. A flurry of activity, and we've seen this a couple times on Oregon now, where one team just gets going.
I don't know if it's
really
clear.
slow them down. Match point, Era.
I sent you to.
So, we have seen now.
What did you say?
4 defense wins
This
in a
game,
row.
dude, is so back and forth. They're literally going
It's
round
not
for
necessarily
round,
the end of
switching
the
off.
map. I think Reckless
Which
still
team is
has
winning now?
very, very much.
That's
in
4-3 in
they're
favor
not
of
gonna have
Era.
Too much of a hard time to come back.
Damn.
They just
Being
won
being
the.
honest.
I mean,
It
it's
seems to
literally
be
been
that
back and forth.
defense is
One
heavily
round after another.
favored. Reckless has had a decent time on the basement, so we'll see if that works out for them. Now they did, of course, lose that first defense of the basement.
I think
but
like they
managed to
did
win
had
the second
something
one,
like
so
against each other.
hopefully they get the better of the 2.
Yeah, it seems like it, doesn't it?
It did work out for Era just now, so yeah, trends continue. Defense favored. Era going to be bringing a Capitao, going for a smoke strat. No Candelas this time on the Ying, instead bringing Soft Destruction in the Sledge. Got to question that decision, honestly.
Sledge is going to be used, what, primarily for grenades? But I mean, there's not a...
You can open up the top of the main lobby stairs, top of the bottom of the main lobby stairs, you know, from outside Armory.
Right.
And you can also, I guess it gains you more access to Meeting Hall, but I agree with you. I think Sledge is the wrong call. It might just be Maman. Can we see the scoreboard quickly, Murray?
Yeah, Maman
Thank you
plays.
very much, Murray. I appreciate that.
Pleasure.
So it might just be Maman. No, it's not him feeling like he's underperforming. It's not like him feeling he needs to do anything. He's got a good, he's situated well
If
right
like
now.
Era
Everyone
wins
on,
this match,
both
everyone will
teams
be like
honestly
talking
are,
about Bosco.
putting up a good amount of fight.
Yeah.
So maybe
They
preference.
I think
that's all I can really
if
call
Era
there is
wins this
preference.
match,
Maybe they
it's
have
over.
specific
I
plans
think
for the nades,
if
and like you were trying to
Reckless
say, I
wins
think
this
that's probably
match,
it.
Nading closet
Era
is
still
pretty
could win.
popular, especially if you use those asphyxiating
Overall.
bolts differently.
I just think I just thought before the match and during this, I just think Era's better.
I think they did get a kill with the.
And
with
they
the
like
nades from
they
Sledge,
won't
as
even
well
forget
as,
about that
Bosco got a kill with this
teabagging.
asphyxiating bolt.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing they just want that explosion. They really want that power, that fragging potential, and the literal frags. But we'll see if it works out for them. Slightly less smokes, and that might be a little bit bad for him. I doubt it, though. In the final push, you only need 2, really, to block out all the vision.
You also have the L85 as well as the SMG11, which have
very good
high
guns.
fragging potential on both of them.
Yeah, versus Ying's LMG, which is just shoots marshmallows. So now tower control going to be a priority here for Era. As you can see, they are droning out into Meeting
Who did
Hall.
he
They are gonna
just
spot
say
Jaeger, who's
gun
playing
shoots
on
marshmallows?
Stage, or near the stage at least, but
What?
they're going to take it slow. They're not going to
Yeah,
force that out. That's
he
very smart.
was
Now,
trash
Maman
talking
actually,
one of
there
the
you go,
operator's
using
guns.
his
I
hammer
didn't know
wisely,
which
gonna
one he
take
was
out of
saying.
control and open up
I think
the
he's talking
drop
about
down inside of that
the new
position,
operator gun.
which will afford
It
him
was-
line of sight
It was one of
onto
the ones that are
Goddess
attacking.
inside a Meeting Hall.
And
She
it's
has
not
fought
Ash,
back,
it's not
smart play
Habana.
from
Obviously, it's
Goddess.
not Thatcher because he was
Not gonna
saying
let
that
herself
Sledge's weapon
He's
is
talking
taken
about
down
that
and became
the guy with that Ella
Struggling
mine
with
type
Bosco
of
having
thing.
some issues with some aim there.
Yeah, well, honestly, no. I mean, we
Was
can't
it?
say that about him. He has been
Yeah.
absolutely dominant. in
Do you know
terms of aim,
the new
missing
operator
cameras on
who
the
has a
end of the
similar
world,
thing,
You know,
like
Gurmy has
exact
pushed
to
his way,
the Ella
same as
trap?
last time, into the
Oh,
box
Leshen, or
hall.
what are you
So
talking about?
he's in Harry Potter right now, just looking to push into box hall with his teammates.
Are you
opening up
talking?
these long
Is that who you're
angles
talking about?
B in the last minute of the round.
It's one of my favorite calls.
Yeah,
in
it's
all of
Legion,
Seasons, Harry
the
Potter.
attacking
Yeah,
one.
it's the room
Oh,
under the
no.
stairs in case
Sophia?
anybody is curious as to
Yep.
why
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was called
Sophia,
that, and
Sophia, yeah,
feel free
Sophia.
to inject it into your own
What about her?
cause. 45 seconds. Match point
I think
in favor
that's
of
the
Era,
gun
and they've
kick I was
got
talking
pretty
about.
good control at the
Oh,
moment.
yeah,
A
that
nice
could.
C4 goes out on a Maman as he trades a grenade back, and that will finish off the Mira, and another grenade
Alright, here
goes
you
down,
go.
and that is definitive.
They're doing
Foxy
your
goes
backside
to, and
push. Let's
Reckless
see if this
right now
works.
has to come back. Goddess
This is
manages
the
to
first
help by
time we've
eliminating
seen a
Gurmy.
backside
Bosco
push.
asleep in the smoke,
I feel
doesn't
like this will
see
work.
it, and gets taken down. Unfortunate that he
Are you
didn't
watching?
have that wherewithal
Yeah.
to know that his health was depleting. We saw it quite clearly. Unfortunately for him, no real visual indicator. Goddess still on the roam. K9 will take the head off of ZZ. That's a beautiful shot. As you can see, the Valkyrie of Breezy inside of Closet lobs the C4 out. Some pressure. He ends up taking out Goddess. Oh
what?
no, his C4 a team kill as Goddess eliminates Super.
Ooh,
But K9 is there to close out the round.
Yo.
A nice burst inside of
Who
that Closet.
did that?
Arrow will take Reckless's map.
Who
And
threw
we'll go to
that?
Chalet for what could be our final matchup.
What
Great
the
job,
fuck?
Tara.
Valkyrie literally just lost that round
All
for
right,
them.
so that was an excellent
He
attack.
team
there
killed
from Arrow.
Goddess
Like,
and
what
then
main takeaway
ended
is that
the
was
round.
The first mix-up we've really
Had
seen there.
had he
Apart
not
from
team
that,
killed
on,
Goddess,
on Oregon, it
they
was
would have
the
won
same
that
attack
round.
strats from both teams over and over and over
Who
again.
did that?
Repeat.
Breezy did that.
And instead of doing that on Oregon now,
Oh
Arrow's
my
like, okay, well,
god.
it's been defense
Because
win
then it
after
would have been
defense win.
1-1 and the
We're gonna
bomb
do
plant
something
couldn't have
different.
gone down
They
and the
went to
timer was
destruction.
out.
They even brought a main
But instead
lobby
he killed his
attack lineup too,
teammate
and I
and then
expected it to be main
he
lobby attack,
died, so
but
both
they
of
tried
his
to do
alive
something
died.
different. Let's take a look at the highlights from that map, of which there were
He
many.
lost the round right there
While we talk
with
about
that C4
but
toss.
ultimately caused Era now
They
to be
literally
in
threw that
winning
round,
position. Only one more map to go.
Oh my
It was
god.
constant volleys back and forth. We saw this where, like I said, it was one team would get really hot, and look at this. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Era, for me, it was Era made so few mistakes. So very few. Every time they made a mistake, they lost a round because Reckless was ready there and ready to go and capitalize. But on the Reckless side of things, we saw a couple. I think I want to say we saw a couple team kills. You know, it was unfortunate,
Damn it.
but we did see a few. That last one we just saw from the Valkyrie, that C4 right there. That's gonna get Goddess on the flank.
Yeah, that literally
Breezy
lost the game.
effectively lost that round. I mean, okay.
That C4.
Let's talk about that position. Let's see
Yeah.
the orientation of the
Yeah, they're
remaining
talking about it right
defenders
now.
and attackers. So you had one attacker pushing in through the hallway. We had one attacker planting.
it,
You had
dude.
one attacker
I feel like
forcing
Era
out
can
claws
take
onto the
victory.
Valkyrie. Goddess is coming from meeting all. The drop down is open. She's just going to want to deny the plant. And she goes to deny the plant. She does deny the plant. And then the C4 from your teammate, you catch it. It was a 2v2 at that point. Valkyrie
Yeah.
could have won that fight maybe on a K9
See that?
if he hadn't gone for the C4. And the last attacker could have been the one in the hallway.
Are they talking about
giving
Bosco?
us overtime.
They're,
but
no,
it
they're
just
talking
a
about
little
that
bit of
C4
miscommunication. That's all it took.
betrayal.
From my
That they would have
understanding,
won the
my man
game.
was
Yeah.
still alive
They would have
for
won the
2
round if
round.
Valkyrie
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
use
there was
those
there was
teams
three
with that.
attackers, 2 defenders. It was Goddess coming
Right.
from the main lobby or the drop down inside a meeting
They
hall.
so
She
did.
denied the plant.
You
C4
so
from
blew
Breezy
it with
killed her,
that.
and then it would if Breezy hadn't C4'd, he might have been able to win the fight against K9 because he was pushing way too aggressively, and then it would have been the last attacker in 2 versus 1, last attacker in the hallway. There's no
Goddess
way.
had the diffuse down. So yeah,
Yeah,
very unfortunate timing. Regardless, we are going to go to a very brief break, as we would typically do after a
Damn, they
match,
must be like
because
so
these
mad at
are-
Valkyrie right
these
now.
are
I
rather
know.
Unusual circumstances.
I mean, you
We will
could,
go to a
in
very
his
short break,
defense,
so
he
we'll
could
see you
make
in
the
just a
argument and
couple
say,
minutes. Sit tight.
if Goddess wouldn't have dropped down, I would have gotten the kill with that C4,
Well, actually,
and
we won't see you in a couple minutes.
we would've
It'll be,
won.
Milos and Emzo, I believe, are
Or
going to be
we for
taking
sure
up.
switch it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a switch. So
Okay.
we're going to be Milos and Emzo are going to take up the best of 5 because again, first best of 5, I think in ESL Rainbow Six at least. So we'll see you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and this match will continue on. It's not over yet. In just a bit.
See you soon.
did you get white sauce on that pizza?
No, it's the mozzarella cheese.
What do you got on it? Onions?
Yeah, onions, capsicum.
What is that
Cheese.
word?
Capsicum?
What is that?
I don't know. It's a green thing.
Is it good?
Yeah, and then it's a paneer. I wish I could send you a clear one.
What kind of phone do you have?
Samsung S5.
I have the Note 8.
Oh, nice.
I had the Galaxy 8, and then I traded it for the Note 8.
Yeah, that's a good trade. Like, Note is like a perfect phone for you if you like use it, like on daily basis.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a nice.
When is the next match going to start?
Looks like they're switching casters, which kind of sucks.
I'm just like crossing my fingers that whenever I like go to the market, they just fix my GPU.
I hope they do. That'd be awesome.
Wow. I have a DSLR camera.
Do you take a lot of pictures?
Nah, like I'll probably like trade that camera today.
Get some cash for it.
Yeah.
You guys
can,
have
like,
like
easily...
a way to like a Craigslist or a Facebook buy sell, like where you can post something and individuals can see what that person's selling and contact you? Is there a way you can do that? Because
I don't know.
I've found that's how we always sell, like how I sold my 1060.
Yeah, we have that OLX thing and then Quicker and eBay.
Yeah, like I've always had more success selling on those types of things than going into a store and selling it, because the stores give you such terrible trade-in value, where on eBay and stuff like that you can actually get like closer to what that thing is actually worth.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is that I like the guys, like they're really like living far away from my place, so I can't really trust them, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Like this guy, he's offering me to allow me to place the GPU in my desktop and then run it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like, yeah.
You won't get that elsewhere.
Like most of the Indians who are like living in the north side or this east side, right? Like half of them are scammers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You don't know about the Indian scamming thing?
No.
Yo, dude, like never trust an Indian guy with your like you can trust like good ones, but don't trust anyone like from online who says you to like he'll install this security software for you, or any like he'll like give him your credit card number, you know. Like don't, like never ever in your life trust that guy.
They're installing like a virus or something?
You know, like Indian tech guy, he like tried to troll me. Like he told me that I can like turn on my team viewer and stuff. That like he'll install this software for me, but I said no.
Good for you. Probably recognize.
Like I'm telling, like never ever trust a, like even if he's an Indian or like any guy from a different place. Like he tells you that I'll install this software for you, turn on your team viewer and this and that. Just say no, like no. And never give him your credit card details, even that like the number, you know.
Yeah, no way. No way.
Like never even tell him your email address, you know. Like people usually create that fake emails, like from like in your case you're looking for a job, so like people create like fake that email that uh, you have successfully we have like successfully allowed you to join this company, so please send your credit card details and all your phone details, email details, you know.
Oh, no, because
Like from
I'll do a phone interview, like, and then if selected, they always make you do a in-person interview. So you go into their company, see their business.
I have like when I was buying a GPU, right? I have like got so many this scam emails that you have just won a GPU, so click on this link, do this, and then you'll have the GPU in like 2-3 days, this and that.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard though. It's hard to know. Like, people just suck that they do that shit.
Yeah, dude, like. I think my camera will go for like 15,000 rupees, maybe.
Damn,
easy.
That would almost pay for a brand new 1066 gig or a brand new 1063 gig.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if it goes for 15K, right? Then I'll buy the second hand that GPU and then I'll buy a motherboard.
Oh yeah. What about an Intel processor? Like get an i5 or i7?
Yeah, no, like that thing is for like 19K.
Oh, 18. An i7 is?
And the i7 is around 27,000.
Dang.
Yeah, the prices are double here, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Like the one 1080 that you got for like 450, right? And like in here,
My
it's
1080?
for
No, it was like 700.
no, the 1080 that you got
Yeah,
in
it's
your
like
place.
$700 or $800.
Yeah, yeah, it's like 700, 800 in my place.
The
Like
1080
double the
was not
price.
cheap, but the prices have gone down actually the last couple weeks.
The one 1080 that you bought, it was like for 450, right?
No.
All right, welcome back, ladies
You
and
bought it for
gentlemen,
800?
to
Mhm.
our matchup. I'm Miller Stamatic, and with me
What the
is
fuck?
Emzo. We have had a
Let me
quick
check.
change
Let me check
of
the price.
casters,
I'll
of course.
look at it right now.
Our best
My recent
buddies,
purchase.
Parker and Michael, are on the sidelines.
Like you told me that
Just
you're looking for a
now, it's
car
getting
which is
midnight.
like
Five
below
maps
$500. So
extremely
Is that what I
I
said?
sent you the
Then
So we're
if that's what I said, then it would have been. I just for some reason I
tiring
thought it was
for
more.
not only casters,
no, like
but very
it's for
much
like
players.
450
So
maybe
they are
yeah, at
taking
your
their
place.
own break,
I'm going
and they are
back
getting
and
ready
looking
to go in just a bit.
right now.
I wish that
And there we go.
I wish I could like order stuff from US like for free of
That was quick.
cost
Let's
from
head
I
into
know.
Amazon.
On Amazon.
Yep. Here we go. Map 4,
Look,
Chalet.
They get
I can
great
like
deals
order
on
a
Amazon.
1070 right now.
What did I? Okay, here it is. Delivered October 17th.
And
It's $559.
we're in operator selection.
Yeah,
Yes,
559.
thank you very much.
That's what I paid for it. Was
All right,
550.
so Emzo, so far, what has happened? Let's get people back into the
And that same thing, it's for like $800 or $900 in here. I don't know why the prices are double here.
Oh,
Maybe it's because of the
the same
Bitcoin thing.
graphic card I bought is now up to $789. I must have got it at a good time.
Damn, it's because of the Bitcoin thing, dude.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I just sent you a link. This is the that's what I bought. This is the
Yeah, I
graphic
know.
card.
I like. Yeah, I sent you the link on the Newegg gear, right? You
Yeah,
bought it from
yeah, you
Newegg,
helped me
right?
find this one.
last night.
No, the
So we
EVGA.
know that Reckless can play it because they did win it last
Damn.
night, right? So it's a question of whether or not
Damn, Dad, you're lucky.
against this team here, against
Hard
Era,
work, baby.
they could do it. Now,
Yo, what happened to
if
the
I
mist?
remember correctly in the ladder matches,
What
too,
happened to
as
what?
may have already been mentioned earlier, I believe
Mist
Reckless did
snipe.
beat
Oh, he's had a hell of a time, dude. I feel bad for him. He bought that computer off of eBay. Okay, so here's exactly what we've been talking about. You got to be careful on that website, right? So he
Yeah,
bought
yeah,
this
yeah.
computer on eBay, and when it
That's
was
why I don't like buy anything from eBay.
yeah, it's a risk because when he first got it, it was
Working fine.
it wasn't working at all, and he complained enough to the point that the person he bought it from allowed him to like return it,
show himself on this map last
and then they said
Ooh.
they'd fix it for him. Well, then they fixed it, and it still doesn't work.
hearing that and going, I
And now
wanna be
he's got this
included too. I wanna
PC, and he ended up having he's just basically took the
That's the entry
took
frag
the
you're down.
PC, and
Now,
now
see,
he's
Fox
replacing
playing that
parts
move we were
from
talking
it.
about quite a bit last
So
night
he
as well. He
he
did
ended
get
up
tagged a little
if
bit
he would
trying
have
to
just
put the
bought
Jaguar
a
down
probably a
before he
nicer
did
one
get
to
down,
begin
but
with,
did manage to get
never
away
would have
from
had
that.
those issues.
K9 does have another shock drone left. Gonna use it
Damn,
on Fox
dude.
again.
Yeah,
Just
he
Why
got
would
trying
you
to
like
tilt
buy
it
the
if
thing
nothing
from
else.
eBay to be
Good
like
start for
at the
K9,
first
at least
place?
he's
You
gonna
should
go
get things from
off his
Amazon.
famous
Yeah,
flight
he was trying to save
and
money,
off
you know, because you
set.
can always find it cheaper. But
Yeah.
the problem is, it's gonna end up costing him more money for not going.
Yeah. That's why I'm not like risking like going to the like this quicker website or eBay or this OLX.
Yeah,
It's
it's just better if you're buying something like this, a high quality product where you can't afford it to screw up. You just gotta,
Yeah.
you know, accept that
Buy
it's
the-
gonna cost you money to do it. You know, you're buying nice stuff. Not, you can't just get around it. It's an expensive product that costs money.
Yeah,
I just hope like a 1060 pops out from the sky and I can put it in my PC right now.
I know.
I haven't seen a lot of these teams
Kitty.
caring about the garages though, or at least on this map. I mean, obviously, consoles
You
different
are you
story,
going to need
so
a
I
more
just think they don't care too
more
much, but if they
expensive
use the
power
Havana,
supply?
That's a big problem then.
a
Ooh,
playing very cautious here.
damn.
You can have my power supply if it saves you money.
No, like your thing, it like costs triple the price of the power supply and
Yeah,
that
that's
the
what
shipping charge.
The Jaeger traded out with
Okay.
the Ash and the Zofia down for Era.
I don't
That
think so
would-
that I'll have to buy a new power supply.
I hope you don't.
Yeah, it'll cost me some more. But
Our man's already in a good position too. This is pretty good, but they.
This
I mean,
is a
Fenn
map
still
I
has the
think
man
Reckless is
advantage,
gonna
just
win.
not
They're good on this
pressing
map.
Yes, and
Last
they
night when they
got
played this map,
themselves
they
in better
dominated.
Positions, but they still need to buck the force. But what they're trying to do is basically force Reckless into looking at the entrance of that wine cellar, and then
they started the
giving
match.
Buck the
Yeah, it just
opportunity that he
started,
needs
first
after
round.
forcing the
What do you think? How many frame rates I'll be getting on 1066 gigs?
On a 6
So
gig?
on attack for this round, he'll do this well.
Yeah.
120 to 140, 120 to 150.
Very odd there.
Like
is,
on really
Goddess
low
gonna be able
settings
to get
in
one.
Rainbow.
Even Breezy
Yeah, I think you'll be
refracting
getting
ITS,
120 to
leaving only
150.
one alive. K9 with barely any
Oh, nice.
HP. The Ella from the side trying to peek in, but he's got 2 players to deal with. And those
Because
are the
I can
Mira and
usually
the
get
Ella,
somewhere in the
trust me, that
200
rate of
range.
fire will
Somewhere,
absolutely shred
you know, it
anything.
fluctuates.
Had he
It
been able to
fluctuates the
catch
entire
Breezy,
round.
might have been
Like,
able to make that work 'cause it would have been down to
it can
Yeah.
fluctuate anywhere from
FPS are
220
like
down to
never stable.
140
a
in a
few
matter
breezes
of
away
5
himself
seconds.
with
You know,
Jeff,
it's crazy.
but yeah, against the Ella
Yeah,
pushing
because
down, it would be
this
difficult battle to win
the
because he
rainbow
was
is not
pinched
well optimized.
sort of an L-shape there.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
that's
this is
so
the
much
starting round, though, but it is looking
fluctuation,
like,
but
Reckless off to a better
If
start.
you'll play a like
Soft
CS:GO, you'll
start
get
from
250
them on this
frame
round
rates
last night.
constant, like
So we
no
know they
dropping,
can
no
definitely
nothing.
do it.
well, my
It's just a
thing
question
though
of
is as long as
whether or
it's
not,
over
they can release
144
Era.
frames per
I believe it was a
second,
5-2 that
I
Reckless
shouldn't notice a
Yeah.
difference,
So it
right? So if I'm
definitely
getting
seems like
200
that.
compared to
However, with the way this is going
150,
in
I'm
best
not
of 5,
noticing a
even if Reckless
difference,
win this
right?
map, we still get one more
Yeah.
to decide who's going to go forward.
Basically, as long
So
as it's over
it's either,
144,
ends now
then
with
I
Era
don't
winning,
notice a
or
difference.
it goes to map 5.
And
Do
it-
you know there's a
We have yet to see
240
outside
Hz
of
monitor in the
America
market
here.
now?
Yeah, I've seen that. I was thinking about
So
getting.
that's going to be very exciting, even making it.
But I don't even
Are
know
you
if I
gonna buy
get
it?
240 frames. Like, if I had a streaming PC, then I'd probably be able to get 240, but when I'm streaming and gaming on the same one, I don't think I get 240.
Like, don't plan on buying it. Just like keep on like saving like $50, like or maybe $20 every day. You know.
Yeah. No, and like I said, there's probably not even a reason for me to get it right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can like probably like save $20 every day, like for 2-3 years, and you'll have good amount of money.
Yeah, true. And by then, the product will be a little bit cheaper because more products will be out.
Yeah.
Again,
And then you can also buy the like the latest one.
The other team did
Yeah.
quite a bit last night as well. Actually, both
My
teams
144
fired
is,
quite a few
I
good
don't know.
car garage defense.
I'm getting
Seems to
over
be kind of a trend
144
now
frames
between
per
all of
second. I would
those
say
teams.
97% of the time
I
I'm
imagine
playing,
Reckless gonna be
so
prepared for it since
for
they do
me,
it.
Oh, then
the
it's not a problem
144
for
is
you.
perfect.
Turning in, just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay, now
They
the
know
spot-
now.
There we go. They know exactly
tin,
that there's at
tin,
least one
tin,
player in
tin.
here. There usually are 2, each one of them holding a different angle. And you see defenders just opening a bit of fire and then falling back,
It's
taking a
2-3
bit of
speeds
damage.
too, so this is like
Like,
something
like my
they worked
PC
out.
will be
You don't see
super
them setting
smooth
the
once I
crossfires,
get
they're
the
a little
1060.
too
Oh yeah,
bunched up at
your
the moment,
1060,
they
you'll
managed to get out just in
you'll
time to
run.
not get shot in
What
the
kind of
back. That's
monitor do
probably
you
the
have?
important part. Now you see them
I have a
splitting
Acer
up to
60
really
Hz
display
monitor.
their
60
speed and
hertz.
position
It'll
to
always be
actually
over
get
60.
some kills out of that,
100%
or
of
they
the
just
time.
kind of wasted a little bit of both teams' time.
Well, but it very much is about wasting as much time as possible from the attacking side here at Reckless. And as well, just forcing
I
them to
got
use
this 960 for the same price like the 1060 is for right now.
Yeah.
The
Really?
6 GB version.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
good for you with the
in this
considering
position.
you're getting the
There
1060
you
for
go.
the same price
Opening
as
up the
that.
side, but won't be able to
Either
find
you paid
anybody
too
just
much
yet
for the
in entirety.
960,
Yeah,
or
K9
the
used to that.
1060
I
is
don't
just
think
on
he's getting
sale to
caught
a
too
point
off guard
that
by it, but now
you
he's
don't
starting
feel
to
like
get
you're
pinched
getting
both
screwed
floors.
over.
Pressure is on
Yeah.
from all the way over to the window as well. He's got to kind of dodge around, but he doesn't successfully do it.
Goddess
Oh.
gets
Nice
kill
reply,
number
though.
1, but Gurmy with the
Gurmy.
C4
What the
taking her out. So
hell?
no more Doc on the Era side,
Damn,
which
dude.
you know, except for the Ella, reminds me a lot of around a year ago,
Yeah.
basically.
K9 definitely likes his Rook and Doc.
Where did my man just
Man
jump
was
out
left
of?
outside for a second, not finding anyone was probably worth it, especially if he didn't really get
I don't know,
spotted
maybe
too
from the
much.
hatch.
Oh, here we
He
go.
was
right to the
outside.
face,
How did he
taking
get
down
out there?
Gurmy. No more pulse as well. Did not see that
What
coming.
the
That's
hell
for
are
sure.
they-
Powerful.
Plant early.
Just going in for the plant. He's got to.
The one thing I
players
really
to
like
help him
about
out.
Reckless,
Finally,
what they
taken
do
down
is
right before the diffuser
they
gets done.
they don't wait
That's
for the
2
last
kills.
like 10
Foxy
seconds
will
to
be able
plant.
to
Like
refrag,
right
bring
there,
it
they're
back.
Like
planting
they
with a
do the
minute left.
unexpected
And now a
thing.
2v1.
Yeah.
Only
I love
Super
seeing that.
left
I
alive
think that
on the
it's
Ella. Not
I think it's a
impossible.
smart
Obviously,
move.
Ella
Like
with a 50-round mag.
in ranked, if I have an
At least he
opportunity
knows
to
where they're
plant,
headed, though.
I don't care how much
Exactly,
time is
and
left. I'm
now
going to do
he
it.
knows that they're going to be going for this.
Yeah.
Foxy defending him from below,
Oh,
and
the
the Claymore
Claymore.
perfectly placed from Goddess will take him out.
Unfortunate for him, I just think he couldn't see it all that well because of the bushes, and that really worked out because that was close. He didn't necessarily have to approach
I
it that
think
direction, but
That
unfortunate for him
Ooh.
just going in that last second.
I
Nice
think
clutch
that Era
attempt,
made a
though,
mistake
staying
allowing
alive.
Chalet to
I guess
enter the
the early
rotation.
placement attempt,
They watched the match
while
last
they
Yeah.
night. They would
failed,
know
they lost
Reckless
the-
has some
their
crazy
diffuser
strats for
placement.
this
There
map.
will
However, it still gave plenty of time
Claymore.
left to recover it.
Like
and
when Ella was jumping out of the windows, like there's like 110% of the time there will be a claymore.
Exactly. Sometimes it seems like they overlook like the most basic things.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're taking this team too lightly because for a reason they've just beaten the team.
Just a hard pick back up. I mean,
They're
Roscoe
bagging,
just come
man.
back and save it. And that was good. But I think maybe they just weren't ready to retake as fast as they needed to.
They shouldn't have
The
gone.
thing is, like both the teams are from NA and like they both they don't like have respect for each other.
Yeah, it sure seems.
And that was something that Era was not prepared for.
No.
At the end.
I mean, it was good team play by them, managing to coordinate to get those plays where they pushed Buck out.
I love watching Pro League because you can see like I don't know. Not everybody in ranked watches this. Like you gain strategies just by watching this. Like you mentally store what they did, and you can implement that at any given point, and it'll give you
most of the people who watching this Pro League, right? Like they do the same strategy in the ranked match.
Yeah.
Because when you vault over the display case,
That's how like the diamond, you know.
If you get caught on stuff, that's a situation where you're likely.
Our goal next season has to be to compete at the diamond level.
So that quick play is good. And then having
we can do it, dude.
Wall means anyone who gets into trophy can't tag
Yeah,
you if you're trying to evacuate that. You're still exposed
is
to
easy, to be
kitchen
honest.
window, but that's a risky
I've never been diamond.
to make because you have to stand in one specific
Yeah,
spot
I've never been
and
diamond
you
too.
see in there.
It's all about
I think I have
I
the skill
haven't
set to
played
do
one.
it.
I mean, they're playing. I mean, there's less.
I have a
less
play
defenders
like
from ACOG,
I haven't
so
played
it is
Star on
a
the
little
EU
bit less
servers.
line of sight than you're going to see previously. You're not
Like
gonna
on the
see Jaeger
C's, the
Van
server is
example
so
playing
hard
that
to
as
get to
often.
platinum
It's not too far.
also. Like
Bosco
I have been
with an
platinum,
early
but
start again with that
I don't
Zofia,
know.
making
Yeah.
an initial kill onto the Ella. That's a good.
Like
Right now-
C server, they have
You're
really
relying on that
low
Ella
amount of
result,
players, so
especially
you
having
always
Fox
keep on
the
getting the same
pulse,
place every
means
single
that
time.
Fox is going to be looking around
It's
for
the highest
information and
player
then
count they've
having
ever
the
had,
Ella
though.
moving around to get the kills or get ourselves in better
The game
Yeah,
is
now
at
he has
the
to fight for
most
himself a
amount
lot
of
more. You
viewers
see
they've
him having to
ever,
do that
or
now as they're
players
trying to
they've
push
ever
it out.
had.
They know
He wishes
exactly
he
where
had-
he is here. Bosco trying to go for the 1v1. Won't be going
There
in
we
for the
go.
flash, but is able to win it. And
You know,
taking
like
him out. No
like
pulse from
soon,
Ella.
like
Only
sooner
left
there'll be like
basically
more
with 3
pro
anchors
teams,
now on the
like
site.
better than this team, like the
Leaving Mira,
FaZe
the
Clan,
and the Smoke
all
Alive
those
for
other
Reckless.
pro players.
Bosco going all the way
Yeah,
back around
that's
to the
true.
Great Rim.
I'm excited to see
Definitely
invitationals.
getting
I want
good
to
map
see if
control here now that they have the man
NA
advantage
is
by
Yeah,
teaming
me
up.
too.
making any sort of comeback, or if this is
Because that's
still
the intel and the roam
EU's
are down.
game.
Goes
So
for
the last
EU.
3 people are all pretty much going to have to play kind of site defense, although they're not necessarily yet. They might go for a little bit of retake, but that didn't work.
I don't know why like
Era
it's
last time.
like they feel so
Gotta
hard
be
to defeat.
careful here and time it just right,
to
otherwise we
defeat
just get the
Penta.
crossfire from man advantage.
Well, Ents did it
And Bosco
finally,
opening up the top
Yeah.
side here.
but
Still
yeah,
has,
There's
Penta
a
just
Kanto
seems to
guy, he
always
like
be ahead of the
literally like
game.
he spots
you know
the Mira
the
wall. He knows
Kanto
the
guy, he
setup
like
that's
he
happening
like
below,
literally
but
ripped
now they have
Penta
to
apart.
watch out because
Yeah, he did.
Smoke is gonna get thrown out in just a sec. Here we go, grenade.
Every single round he was like at 3, like he was getting 3 frags.
But no, won't work out at all at this point.
Yeah,
Goes in
Kanto
on Kuru,
Keddy,
takes down the
he
front
almost
line
made
wall.
a case
Now
to
Super
be
will get the kill
that
on
he's the best
Goddess.
player.
Called that.
Right outside, 5 versus
Yeah.
2, and Reckless very much.
Do you know
following
like
board, but
at
still
one point
holding down the
that
game on
Pengu
Smoke's
he started
side.
thinking that he was a hacker, so Kanto tweeted his settings to Pengu.
Lines of sight for themselves because they're both
Really?
pinned into a room where everyone knows
Yeah.
where they're at this point.
He goes. Ooh, no,
That's so
So, I
lame.
don't
He
know.
tried to call him out for
Too low
cheating
at
just
all.
because the guy was
Has to
good.
go in
Yeah.
and grab onto the smoke, but in the meantime, Bosco will take
Haven't
down
you
one,
like
goes in for
I'll
the
tag you
second.
in that tweet.
Low on
Yeah, you
ammo,
should send me
but
that.
will get cleaned up by the Bearing 9. Well, then
Yeah.
Hibana and Super will clean up the round. That was a fantastic round from here.
Damn.
Dismantling
I think it was
Reckless.
maybe a 3K too for Bosco.
I don't
He's
know.
definitely-
It just
you know, we
doesn't
did see
seem
a
like
lot of
these
utility
guys,
out of
these
the actual
teams are as
operator,
good at
But he sure knows how to use that rifle.
EG and
He
Elevate. I
basically
just don't think they
used
are.
all the utility after he got the first 2 kills on the Ella.
Like
and
they
the
just
Pulse,
don't make
first of
those
all,
nasty
in the
plays and
basement.
like snap pick.
And once that was done,
They
moved
just
all
don't.
the way up top,
And
and
then
then
using
used
They just don't seem to have
using
the
all
same
of the
skill that.
utility that he had to just open up the floorboards and make sure that the defenders have to fall away so they don't get tagged by him.
Yeah.
So that line of sight play, you're thinking about, oh, the windows, but no, they can still come in from above. So I think they focus too much on having operators to just stick on the site itself or very close to it, and having only the Ella
Yeah.
without the support of the Pulse early on taken down by Bosco. It just does not work out at all.
And speaking of which, in terms of playing the site and things like that, now that they're having a second chance at this site, they're not going to go with that double roams, at least not the double roam with the Bandit. My man switching it to Vigil this time. We did see some interesting Vigil play from Reckless last night on this site, trying to play around there to be able to kind of figure out. No, I think it was actually from the vertical side. I don't remember, but there was definitely some Vigil play on this particular bomb site, trying to play it so they didn't know which floor he was on, kind of confusing them on that garage attack, which they are also reinforcing again. So this will give him a good chance to try and fake them out like we saw before. But they're probably going to play a little closer to site this time. K9 going to be known to probably play in that site room as he is right now. But he might play a little more out in the hallway this time. Give himself a little more clearance.
Yeah, Dan, what do you think about that?
Hopefully they can hold downstairs longer and hold off that buck. If they can, that gives K9 a lot more freedom to stay up there. And the Vigil is going to at least delay them in that process. Now they're seeing that top of the slat that he opens up every time in that room there. Not sure if that's where he can kind of stand up and get a line of sight or what he's trying to do with that. Could be for sound as well, but he looks like he tries to get it so straight, makes me think he's using it as actual line of sight.
You can have it for sound because of the way sound now works.
Yeah.
Plus, you can just go for a quick tap and it gives you extra bit of line of sight because it breaks down pretty much the top half of the entire window. So that's even more space to work around with. So every single inch works out pretty well for you since you have to look so low down. But
my man's really no, he's not just dodging the drones with his ability, he's actually actively killing them all too and burning up.
And he's running the shoddy as well. So.
Yeah. I think he's doing an effective job. I think it was a good switch. I mean, whether he'll get any kills off this, I don't know. Drones probably caught him there, so he's going to have to rotate around. But now he's got Super to back him up. But this is what we saw them do last time, and it didn't work out because they weren't able to get back to site successfully and defend it. So hopefully they play a little smarter this time. K9, that's going to help getting his own kill.
A great shot here, taking down Powerful, so no more Blackbeard.
Ooh, they busted out a Vigil.
The player that you want to be watching
Vigil with the
now
shotgun
eliminated, and that'll probably turn around to the Ying. As Breezy is still droning in, trying to get himself in a better
position. He could come in from West Lobby over here instead of trying to approach from the window now, though.
Good point, actually. It's rarely used, to be honest, but you kind of want to have the Ying on that outside window because you can throw in the Candelas, and that's really the strongest part, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they have the ability if they wanted to push West Lobby, for example. They have a Hibana left alive that could open up that wall if they really got desperate in there and managed to get K9 out, but that's difficult to do.
Oh, here we go. My man is ready for it. This is exactly why he was coming in here.
Oh,
he wants the 1v1 and take down the buck before he can do too much damage.
So close.
But he's going to be the one traded off with just a bit
that
of
pre-fire.
HP.
You know, it's still burning time, though. I give him credit for at least getting away. It was unfortunate that the pre-fire was too early because he could have had a really easy kill potentially on Buck. But nonetheless, he's still burning their time. They still got to be scared. They don't have upstairs control anymore now that he's denied that to them.
And he's even switching in for the shotgun. So there we go. Going for the SMG. Has spotted one in the back, but he knows that there's both players ready for him.
My man.
This is not working out. The Ying is even going to jump out and now take control of the window, though. Gurmi will take down Goddess. That's her on the floor, and Pulse will get shot down. My man gets one, and Bosco will get the second. Goddess with the kill on Bosco from the grave on the Claymore. Now 3v1 as Foxay is left alive on that Zofia. Now all the way below.
No diffuser on hand either.
And this
Yo, I'm back there.
Here. Going in for
Yo, I was saying, what do you think about that Shate guy?
Ready in, but
Shate?
He's gonna get finished off by the
Penta?
and K9.
Yep.
We'll end this
I think that he's nasty. I think that every player on Penta is nasty. I know he was on Ents last season.
Even with the way
they're just so good.
Off,
yeah, that 2 rounds in a row for
Yo,
they were
but like,
they just won the tournament and that guy just like left the team, dude.
Yeah.
Well, they were kind of used to what they
I don't know. It's really weird.
Right? And it worked.
And I was like reading comments.
And that was really kind of what snowballed.
Some of the guys were pissed about it, and some of them weren't.
That's what led them to planting a whole minute early.
The thing that the Ents teammates had said was he left for what he felt was a better opportunity. But like you said, why is that a better opportunity? If you just beat them, that means your team's better.
Denying the map control. I mean, he
probably
a lot of shots
because of the money.
And, like,
you think he got money?
Not effective in terms of denying time.
They were always afraid of the Vigil.
Yeah, and that's what.
From
that's
moment
really
one
what
in the garage.
Like that guy. They say like he's in his 40s, maybe.
Oh, that's right. Yep, I did read that actually. Now that you say that, he's older.
Under the Ying workout. Or the kill on the Buck before that, but
I can understand his situation, to be honest.
Bringing it back now to the tie 2-2. Era had a great comeback attempt.
Like he really wants to like make his future secure.
That eventually fizzle out. So there's still a chance this could.
He has a family. He's got to provide.
Reckless taking the lead on this one. But again, even if they do take the lead and win
the Wilkie guy, like he's doing a really big thing.
Back on the next map, which who knows?
He's doing a job, and then he's like into the public scene.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that in Oregon.
Although to be fair, that's what Kix was saying about Consulate. We saw how.
Who are these casters now?
You never know. Breezy with
I don't know who they are.
Wonder if he's going for
they casted last night.
Bosco getting a little angry early kill onto the mute. That's actually a great play because that
Kix
mute
is
was kind of a
making
pain
like
for them last
good
time.
amount of
That
money with the
shot just
streaming
went
and then with
immediately
the
through.
casting thing.
I'm not sure it was
Yeah,
the mute trying
I
to
think
do
you're
something tricky
Yo,
into the
like to be
spawn
honest, that
to
like
get
that
a spawn
Shroud
kill,
guy,
but
dude,
yeah.
honestly, this does
it
not
literally
reflect
makes
too well
around
for them. But
5
Yeah,
to
it feels bad
10K
for
in
Fox,
like
though,
one
'cause I
streaming.
imagine
He
was
makes
probably
over $1
getting
million
little
in
greedy and
subs
got
alone.
punished for it.
and now you just
Yeah.
hear that DMR
In subs
rocket
alone, he
through,
makes
spots
$1 million
one player
fucking
below.
dollars.
Gurmy smart enough to not open fire and
Damn.
really
Did you see
reveal
he's playing a
himself
lot of
too early.
Rainbow
K9
Six now?
will get one more.
Yeah.
LS down.
Kinda cool.
He again started
Basically
playing
just took
Rainbow.
down the two
Yeah, Shroud's
two
playing
players.
Rainbow.
One of them
Yeah.
is going to be in and around
Right
the
now?
site,
You
and
still
then
have
Not
two
right now,
stages,
but
though.
he's
So you still
been
have
playing
some
it a
ability
lot.
to use these staircases because you have the
Oh,
Jaeger and the
nice.
Bandit.
Dude, he'll like
Now, obviously,
he'll
Breezy,
bring
though, should
like
be probably
huge
playing
amount of
site because
player base
Reed
to
and
Rainbow
Angel
now.
up there because
He
there's
has
still so
fun.
much map control that
He'll
they can
have
get with the man
50,000
advantage
people
like that,
watching when he's
and they are
playing.
taking control now from Wine Cellar. Not
I
really
mean, he's
pushing
very
the other sides, and
average.
now
He's
the
not
players
like
actually getting
not like
advantage and
great
knowing
or
that that's where the
anything.
push is coming from.
even getting aggressive here, Breezy on the mirror.
That
Right.
guy's like so
Though,
chill,
there's
you
no
know. Like
Thatcher.
Yeah.
he doesn't care
And Bosco just
whatsoever
moving
is
in the
going on. He'll do
bulldozer
his
now
thing.
with the Blackbeard, but
It's just
Powerful
cool to
will get
see
one.
when he comes into it, like he brings a lot of attention. Like, a lot of people
Or
are
at least watching
paying
your
attention.
back. And now
Yeah.
it's all up to Gurmy. The Ash just all the way up top is powerful. Drops back down to his teammates. That was almost a couple team
It's
shots.
going to get chaotic here in a second. That's for sure.
All right, second flash is going to get thrown in.
That guy was like so
All the way
close to
around. Yeah,
Ash.
there we go.
Yeah.
Good Bosco falling
That's what
into
the player
edge
outline.
trap
Like you
all
see
the way
them
top
like
of
having
Mine
their shots
Kitchen.
on,
I like how he's
or
trying to
there's
position that to
scopes
clear
on
that
people's
mirror
heads,
window,
and
and
they don't
Havana's
know.
also going to be doing that here. However, we could see them try and deny that, but Bandit is gone, and that's what they needed to do to now get the accessibility and line of sights from that car garage.
Yeah, Bosco watching for
Oh,
rotations,
no.
In there.
and they spot them both. He goes in,
There we
fires
go.
in
Oh,
one,
what the
and knows that
hell?
the second is still inside, has not rotated out of here. Can definitely hear the Mira still.
Trapped in there. Like
Why would
Brad-
Bandit
still
run
got
like
a
that?
window
That's
if
what
he
I
was
saw.
having
That's
that window
like
to fall back on, assuming they
I don't know. I don't.
Oh,
They're
so
just
there we go.
panicking.
As you say
And
that,
Mira's
K9
not even like
from
wall
above
banging
will
or
get the
doing
kill
anything.
lead.
Yeah, they're just panicking.
Mira's also
versus
running like
4.
that.
But he's gonna
What
get
the
shut down by
fuck?
K9.
Yeah,
Well done.
they just
round
At
panicked.
least a
from
3K
Mira.
from him. He's definitely
Yeah.
a great
Like,
Thatcher. And always has
Just straight
been.
up just
Oh my
He's always been
God.
kind of the Thatcher and Rook main, and we were talking about that before. And he's that stalwart
They
player.
like
these
already
are my
accept
mains,
their
I'm
loss.
good at them.
I
and that's
think
what he
so.
was for. Like, I mean, that's
They
admittedly,
jumped
we're
out
going
2-0
back to
on
Urban
this, and
all
then
the
now
time,
they've
tell him,
lost
like,
3
he's the
rounds
rock,
in a
we'll put him
row.
on this, he'll do his job, and that's why you
Mm.
have K9 spot on this map because he's reliable like that.
I think
3K
they're like
was
just sick
definitely
of it
impressive
now.
performance from that round,
They're not
and it really
giving
helped
their
open things
best.
up because everyone who thought they had a secure
I
position. somehow
I
they were
honestly
flanked by
thought it
K9.
was gonna.
Just
I
to-
mean,
just
I
to
said that
play
when we
a tangent
started.
before we
I
go
thought
in.
Arrow
I
was
don't know
gonna
if
win
anybody clipped that
3-0,
end of the
maybe
round there
3-1
with the replay,
overall
but
in the
I don't know if you
series.
saw
I
the
didn't.
skating
I just
Cabana
thought they were a lot better.
skating, but that was absolutely hilarious. Anywho's, back in here. Era definitely showing that they are in control so far.
But
Well, 3 rounds in a row is a good way to
it's
do
not
that.
over
yes,
yet.
that is true. It started off pretty well for
Yeah,
Reckless.
it's like still going
The
on.
case no more, and this is the change. The
We-
Falcons-
Dude,
We haven't
again that
seen them
Bosco
defend the site
guy,
either, though. That's
8
why they're changing up
kills,
the operator
3
side, I
deaths.
imagine. But that's the
If
question.
he
my
can,
God.
if he
Lose
can
the top
continue
side,
this
the
and
trophy
bring it
site.
to LAN,
The first
they
time
might have a
managed
chance.
to come back around, figure it out, win
Yeah.
it. But we don't know how well they can defend this
Come
one.
on,
This
dude,
could
that
be,
Bosco guy, what the
a
like?
chance for Reckless to
fucking
get a little bit
hell.
of a comeback, because obviously this is not the preference
Just
site,
he's-
right? Otherwise it
he's
would
going big, man.
Here. So the question is,
Yeah.
will Reckless be prepared for how they're going to defend it? Like you said,
Like
with
he's
that,
playing the
having
most
Valkyrie, for example,
that
we've actually seen a lot
unusual
less
thing
of.
that
But again, as
like this
mentioned earlier,
DMR.
not necessarily due to
I
doping,
know.
because
I thought that was
hasn't
odd
been
too. Using the
at least
DMR,
we
because
can
I
see
thought
it
his
earlier,
regular
but
gun
yeah,
was
at
really
least
good.
NA has been, well,
Yep.
EU been in a
But
little
you know
bit
that
Like, he's
Cade
Which
we
is
play
usually the
with,
other way around. We
Yeah,
usually see a lot more
that is
experimentation
very
from
true.
NA.
he uses Blackbeard's
Nonetheless,
DMR too.
this should be an interesting match. and
What I-
it's-
But
what I
like
want
in
to see
in this
is
pro league
where do you
scene,
set up the
Yeah, in Pro
Valkyrie
League it's
and
definitely
the Jaeger
odd.
position?
I
Because
just
most
don't
likely
know
the
very many
Bandit
people
is
that
gonna try to bandit
choose
check
to
the
use
garage
his
just in case
DMR
there's
over
an
his
attack through there.
We see a lot of good combination on this map of inside and outside ones, because the outside ones
I
have
just
very
really hope
obvious
that
utility.
like
But the
I
inside
have
ones
that
where you get
240
creative, we
hertz
talked about
monitor
before, you
and
have
then
vaulted ceilings and things like that, where those become very useful. If you have a big open space. Fireplace is a great example. When that camera's lost, having the ability to deny them the ability to sit in Fireplace, because we saw Fireplace, especially with ZZ's
like
in
most
there,
of the
with
players
that
are
bug,
using Ash with
is a big
ECOG
deal.
now.
So if they're smart, they're going to get a backup camera in Fireplace, so they can rotate up.
What
to
do you
where the
use for the
mini-stairs,
attachment on
maybe all the way to the top,
R4C?
shooting from above. But letting him sit in
Ash,
there is a big
ECOG.
mistake. So I think that was a good choice.
What do you
by the
use
man
for
if he
the
placed camera
compensator
there,
or
which
flash
unfortunately
hider?
we don't know for sure or not.
Alright,
Compensator.
ZZ has,
And then
taken
this
control
vertical
of the
grip.
kitchen, is going to be droning around.
I use
Has not cleared
the
those,
vertical grip,
those
and then
two
I
roamers
use
just
a flash
yet
hider.
from here on the defense. So Goddess now moving
Ash,
in.
I don't think so that angle grip is available for S.
No, I think you're right. I just really like the I really like the the flash hider because I use a lot of top player when he dashes R forward.
That is the perfect position for the Blackbeard. Can use that shield.
I'm like literally just like wishing that I go to the market and they just like fix it right away tonight.
Powerful gets kill
I hope you're right.
And that's the smoke, yes. Yep. Right before the smoke starts to get
I was really looking forward to playing tonight, but
not to mention there goes Powerful opening up that window.
I can play most nights. I just can't watch this most nights. So
they could get
I chose to watch this overplay.
But the way that ZZ's being backed up by Fox, I think will make it very hard for Flank to happen.
There we go. Second EMP is gonna get thrown in.
I'd really love to see the invitationals.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. See that? This is what I like about Reckless. See that? They just planted with a minute left. They didn't wait.
Yeah.
Sacrifices for the plant.
Yo, Dale, that Ants is in the invitational thing, right?
Who is?
Ants.
Yeah, Ants and Penta are both qualified.
Shield of the Blackbeards goes in for the deagle, will get taken down. Man with one more, and then takes down Powerful. Reckless shutdown in the round, even though they had the perfect spot.
I don't know, I guess
to look through.
maybe planting early isn't the answer.
Out. Here we go, 4-3, one more round away from winning it out.
I feel like Air really knew when to unleash the beast in that round, because I was talking about Fox covering for ZZ up there, and that should have been a perfect situation where if I mean, I don't know what else, we didn't see what happened, but if Fox were doing his job properly to cover ZZ, that shouldn't have happened.
So like how
I mean,
in the like world they could like lose?
Exactly what happened, but nonetheless, that's what happened there. Once those
they are one
down,
round
they had
away.
the perfect position for the diffuser.
I know.
But after that,
like the attacker or the defenders should have to put themselves in such a vulnerable position to try and retake, but somehow they're not getting punished. Like they're able to get. You see how easy they were able to get up to that wine cellar without being contested? Once they got to the wine cellar, they were able to. I mean, they were so close that they could shoot through the Blackbeard shield.
That's a really promising thing for them as a team. But you've got to be able to pull it off. As we
it's
saw,
a struggle for.
They did manage to do it some.
I mean, the attackers should not allow that to happen if they plan it.
The only problem is that
Dude, Reckless are like struggling to win this match.
This is it. If Arrow wins,
they don't have the communication.
First of all, we had
I feel like they can still win this.
Which is extremely odd.
Well, I mean, it was.
I'd like to see a map.
You have to consider,
I'd like to see it go a distance.
But you have to be really on top of your game to fire fast enough, because when you're facing a doorway like you saw there, if Bandit's crossing fast and he's a 3-speed, he can spray because he knows he's spraying in a very tiny spot. Blackbeard's having to trace him across, and you know how it is in movies where you're just shooting right behind the person? That's what happens a lot. Blackbeard is hard to get that speed to tap people fast. So you've got to be like really flick, and when you're not, you see exactly what happens. That's because he was in a disadvantaged situation in terms of Bandit knowing exactly where he's at and him not being fast enough on it. We'll see if Bosco can be fast enough, though, because we've seen a lot of Blackbeard today.
Alright, well, Gurmy is going to be droning in here by the library. Just opening up a tiny bit on the windows. There isn't really anybody to contest him as we see a rotation back from the Ela.
Drone placement as well. And I don't think we mentioned
this match point now. Nade, though, my man.
Oh, there we go.
Kill number 1 for him, taking down Foxay.
Buck.
Great start for Ira.
Yeah, that's a lot of potential intel down if he didn't use all those cameras. There are a lot of Valkyrie players that will not throw them all out right away because they want to get some positioned later. But hopefully he got them all out, because otherwise not so useful. But that's a C4 down, and that's usually important. So my man actually playing it very patient. Usually you see a lot of bucking the floor, getting very aggressive. He's actually hoping to bait them out, making them think they're comfortable. Buck's not here anymore. I'll go stand there.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Just as you say that, starts bucking the floor.
I think he knew that he was right there and took advantage of it.
Just wants to push his opponents away for just a sec, for his teammates to get in a better position before they're able to push onto the site.
Unfortunately for him, he doesn't know about the ADS right there, because that's going to make it hard for him to try and chuck any grenades up, although he could cook them and throw them at the floor instead.
It is very difficult to do that.
We've seen what happens when Canadian tries many seasons ago.
Ooh, here we go. C4, well, the Claymore is going to be the last line of defense here, as ZZ is going to be forced back on the Ela all the way down to the wine cellars. Smallman continues his rampage on the wooden floorboards here.
Again, this is match point, though, and there is man advantage already to Era. 57 seconds left, but that's still enough time now that smokes are already going out. And that kill on ZZ is really going to tip this in their favor, and this could be the end of this map, as well as the end of Reckless's attempts.
Oh, and even a draw boy. Oh my god. What a terrible spot to be in. The Jaeger even dropped on the floor, but he will get rezzed up by his best buddy. Maybe Powerful on the dock, going in for the 1v1. Powerful will get shot down by Goddess. This is K9 with one more, taking him out. Breezy, last man alive.
This is his last 30 seconds potentially in this entire season here.
But no more gas nades. Here we go. And it's Era.
They did it, dude.
We'll save the round for them. And Era, ladies and gentlemen, 3-1.
They lost?
Will make it to the Invitational. And that'll be the representative through the qualifiers and the playoffs from NA.
You know, just looking at the score lines, though, they definitely deserve the win. They did not let Reckless, after map number 1,
11,000 are voting.
Yeah, 5-1, 5-3, 5-2. They definitely were on top of it, despite, they lost the first 2 rounds in a row of this map.
They'll wish there was like 11,000 like players watching your stream.
Hard and fast towards the end.
Yeah, right.
K9 up there, my man up there, Bosco. No one carrying this round. They're all kind of bringing their weight, but it seems like that was
like
a map
you can like at least get to 2,000 maybe.
And I feel like we saw some good flexibility from both teams, but especially from Era in terms of making all those changes they need to do. Hey, we lost the site.
Era won 3-1.
That's it.
And that's why we got 5-2.
It was interesting as well seeing.
Are they going to compete against Elevate?
Just
yeah, Elevate,
And we
Evil
saw a little bit of it last
Geniuses,
night as
and
well for the same,
Era
for the same
are
reason, I
the
think.
representatives
see some,
from America.
Maybe this is an area where this
Damn,
can work,
dude.
and hopefully teams
Your
will take
favorite
that
players are in
towards the
Elevate, as Skies and Lexin.
Yeah, their team is so nasty.
Where it really got spicy.
Oh,
Have you like ever met Lexin?
no, never in
You
real
told
life.
me that
So
like he
spicy,
lives
can't
near
show
your
you.
house.
Yes,
Yeah,
so spicy,
I haven't
as
seen him in
everyone
person though.
sees.
Unfortunately.
But honestly,
The
there
one
we go, there we
thing
go. So Bosco
about
going in, that was one of the flanks where it was actually the
well,
Jaeger
Elevate
and the
to think
Ela
about is
and
so
this is
last
watching
season
ZZ.
in the finals or in the on the LAN event, they got beat by
Were definitely effective on
Ents,
this map, I have to say, and that is one that is
won,
always useful
obviously.
because you never know when people are going to try
Ents
the
beat them in the
rotation. Gets
first
an effective
round,
rotation.
and their
Either
season
jump from
before that,
outside
they got
or
beat in the
from the top side
championship
or jump
to
from the trophy window
Penta.
itself.
We saw a
So
lot of contesting over that window. K9,
really,
you
the
know,
only
maybe
teams
not
that have
being
beat
able
them
to
the
like
last
they
two
always
seasons are
move
the
to
teams
the
that
team
won
picked it
the
up
whole
after
thing.
that and
Going to
became stalwart.
win.
Bosco
Yeah.
really went ham that round with that Blackbeard.
Bosco, in
Very
my
strong
mind,
Blackbeard.
Bosco so far is the MVP of this entire
Damn.
match. He
And
has played super consistent on every single one of these.
You got to keep in mind too.
Are they like
Bosco's
going to
not a
stream any
defense.
other match?
He is the one who ended up subbing
No,
for
that was
Gio,
the last
I
one.
think maybe twice for Elevate.
Are you going to
So he
sleep?
was the man to step in
Yeah, I
and say
think
like,
so.
it's fine, I can take Gio's
Alright,
place.
then they'll
We
see ya,
saw
take
Gio,
care.
Gio move on since
All right,
then.
man.
In fact, I believe Gio
I
was
will
on.
Good luck, bro.
talk
his
to you
team
tomorrow.
at one point,
I'll stream
if
after
I
work.
recall
Yeah.
correctly when it was Excellence,
Alright.
if I'm remembering right.
Later, bro.
Not
So-
too long ago.
Yeah, not too
Later.
long ago, back